Because we have more people today, and new Crow. We had it. There's two people like. Is Crow there?
I've learned
We do
to
need to
swim, drowned
restart
10
them
times.
checkpoints.
Who drowned me
Yeah,
10
Crow
times?
is.
Do you want me to restart from checkpoint?
Yeah,
Yes,
from
please.
checkpoint. Please do
After
not restart the
this-
whole level.
I was really close. I was thinking about it.
Sobbing.
I mean, this time,
Hello.
hello. This
Well,
time,
hi.
everybody get on
I
a
forgot
boat,
to mute
okay?
We should probably set
That's
up
a
the
mood.
voice roles.
I want the
for
purple
today.
one.
Go.
Are you fuck still playing Humans Fall Flat?
Yes, we
Yes.
in fact are.
Yeah.
Let's go, Ryder.
Help! I'm
Grab
dead.
on.
Oh
Your
god,
mic
I missed the
direct
boat
me.
completely.
Grab onto
I'm
the
drowning.
boat.
Okay.
Oh, I drowned. Guys,
Who
wait.
else joined?
If
Welcome.
we haven't moved yet, if you want to like drown and respawn.
I'm coming.
love how
That
spongy this is.
Darkling's the one that doesn't have any clothes on.
Darkling is the one who's stripped. He's stripped.
That one's Darkling.
Tailbone
in my
out and all.
laboratory era, they didn't give me any clothes.
Why is this skeleton
cannon.
episode?
Okay, go. Onward. I said
getting-
when ass
Read it.
naked,
Are we
not
playing?
without clothes.
We are going to
Is
read.
that not?
We were just
Okay.
we
Are
did
we
a couple
going
minutes
to
early because
for
I
it?
didn't think everyone would join. I didn't think my threats worked for once.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
because you
No, I
threatened
just finally have free time and not doing something.
My threats finally
Saturday
worked.
of
I don't think there's somebody that's just not wearing pants. I think everybody has pants on at least.
No, I don't have pants.
Yeah.
Besides Darkling.
No pants, no dignity. You have a diaper on. You have something covering your
Somebody
tailbone.
quote that. Somebody put that in the quote.
No pants, no dignity.
No
pants, no
decency.
Oh, pants, no decency. I'm gonna wait for them to open the gate, and I'm gonna go this way.
I don't know what we're supposed to be doing.
Well, there's
Oh, wait,
there's a way to open
wait.
up
I
this
see what we're
gate.
supposed to be doing. There's an opening on each side, and we gotta get it to move in the correct way, I believe. Unless, did you already?
Huh.
What? I don't know. No pants, no decency.
We are reading today. We are.
Oh my
Yes.
Yeah, is that not what
That was
we're
the
doing?
plan.
Once.
Is that the plan? Is the
Yeah.
plan?
Okay.
I don't.
We
think
gotta.
we're waiting on
So we
anyone,
have new
but-
voices in the world today. Is the biggest thing here. So we could
Yeah.
assign some more roles, considering.
Well, somebody's gonna have to take over for Gina.
I will.
Well, that's obviously the creator, aka
Yes.
Jay's taking over.
I only
Jay gets
have
to
one
be
free time.
their child.
Finally.
Reader's
Shit, I
Corner,
need to pull
please.
up. Oof.
What chapter are we on?
Have
33.
Check the
not
doc.
an ounce of clue.
Okay, we should
33.
let me get the doc in a minute. Hold up. Let me get to a point where I'm not getting stabbed and impaled several times over said edge every day.
Hey Jay, fun fact: if you look up
would you look
AO3
that
running
up
up
in
that
the
hill, your fic is the third one.
Fine.
Okay, let me go chapter.
You're popular.
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 Oh, man.
Gotta get the fit.
Whoa, Darkling. Whoa. Okay, am I still?
What
I have no
chapter?
idea
Ryder,
what chapter I
get
left
out.
off on.
From Ryder, don't join the.
Chapter
Don't go under the gears.
33, I think, maybe.
Well, I'm moving all
Hold
of
up,
my
let me
tabs
tab
so
over.
I can
I'm gonna
still
stop.
game.
I'm gonna close Human Fall Flat.
Oh,
'cause my
mine's
computer
actually
is
the second
lag.
one. Whenever I Google it.
Okay. Oh
Listen,
no,
it's-
why?
The stream is from my point of view, and I cannot pan the camera anywhere else.
I fear if I look over, I will be seeing things.
You'll be.
I'm opening the stream. Oh, lovely. Yeah,
Sobbing.
I got you. Don't worry.
It's always
No pants, no
Oh,
dignity.
Neil also voices
decency.
Fred.
Huh?
Are you guys shoot me?
Stretch doesn't really talk, I don't think. Hold on, let me see.
Because you don't care about Stretch. It's just like Tango.
Oh, I'm
Shoot
gonna
me.
make it. You just wait. Oh, you wait. Stretch's chapter
Exciting.
is going to be very interesting.
Oh god.
By the way, I'm pausing writing to read it with you guys. I hope you know that.
Alright.
Stretch actually.
I can make this worse.
Stretch actually speaks in this chapter.
Make this work is crazy.
His name is mentioned a whole 5 times.
Oh my gosh. I'm realizing there's much more people now, and we're gonna need more PNGs again.
Yeah, no, I need to
Get your ass out of the camera, Dark.
Oh, you need to... I don't think you ever finished my bird.
Fuck, I never
Yeah.
did.
So
Shit.
we need. So Void's here. Is Void here?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
here.
Yes,
I'm
Void's
here.
here.
I'm here for once.
I keep
Hold up.
seeing anti-Void, and there's too many people with the number 2 and mustard in their name. You keep changing your profile photos. I don't know who anyone is anymore.
Well, you know I'm Void, because I'm the one who created mustard, so...
I can't even hear Void.
Oh.
I had their
Damn.
volume on 7%. There we go.
My chest hurts.
That's
What the
crazy.
frick?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because I
It's not
have
okay.
yeah, I can't be the...
I don't have a number in my name
the number 1.
because I'm base.
I put number... Or
Okay.
number I put
Somebody,
number 2.
we need somebody for Stretch, unless I'm doing Stretch,
I could probably do
which I can. But
We have
Bruno's only characters are
you're playing-
Stretch and Keto, and then
Oh
I
my
have
God.
my own characters.
Unless
that I
it's
voiced.
Hollows in this chat.
Which
I could probably do
Oh god.
Or
What is
any
happening?
I mean, like,
Zans.
it's not
I made a
Yes,
mistake. Is
yes,
what's
yes.
happening.
if somebody doesn't have a
The
role
door.
and they would like one, somebody can take
Oh,
over
yeah,
Stretch.
yeah,
Please, please,
Oh
please,
my
please,
God.
please, please, please.
You fuck! Stop playing Feelings Call Flat.
What's going on? Oh my god!
Close the game, guys.
Down.
It's reading time. Let's do this.
You fuckers are so mad at me that I don't start on time. I start on time and you fucks are playing Feelings Call Flat.
We're overtiming
I will
us really
flatten
badly.
We're too good. We're too good.
I'm so sorry.
I can't breathe. My chest keeps sucking.
Okay, we got
shoot
a
me.
new thing. That's a really good time to stop.
Alright, yeah.
You guys ready to stop?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pull the
No
tongues
one
from
here
my birds.
doesn't have a role and would like.
5.
You're talking in the chat. Oh, y'all are talking in that chat. I keep thinking you guys are talking. We have a readings chat.
No, we have a yappers chat.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
we have
seeing
we have another reading chat. Okay, there's two.
Yeah,
of
we
them.
have 2 reading chats. This is confusing.
Yes.
We have 2?
We do.
Oh, right. Cause
Well, there's the
one.
actual one in voice channels, and then there's the one that's only like the chat for the Discord voice.
In the voice channel.
But we only
Okay.
really use the voice channel. We use the voice. No, we use the voice channel for yapping like
Oh,
while
hi,
we're
Gino.
talking. To make sure we
I
don't
see
interrupt each
Gino's
other, and then
cheering
the
at
readings
the
channel to do.
I'm going
Like,
to
figure
kill
it out.
someone. What the frick? I can't. My chest keeps combusting. Can it not? I keep on hiccuping. Someone shoot me.
Oh no.
Okay, so we're chapter 33.
Mm-hmm.
The stretch is open. If anybody wants to yap a stretch.
Okay, I have the readers gotta read this. Ugh!
Yeah.
Shoot me.
I'm blue
but
and red.
I have Lust as normal and Jupiter Malvern.
Yeah, if you already have a role, ignore
know.
what I'm saying in chat. But for anybody, like any of our new readers or
Newer
people.
daily people.
yeah,
Because, Crow, I don't know if if you would like a one or not. Be a little silly goofy. Ooh, Dust is also.
I think
That's
I'm
Luna, by the way,
not
Gino
good at-
is laughing at you for having hiccups.
Shoot, I'm freaking. This is what.
Screechers, screechers.
if y'all fucks don't respond to this message, if who wants Stretch and Dust,
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna BRB.
I need to
Okay.
set up the freaking whatchamacallit thing again because there's people,
Oh.
new people.
So many people.
Yeah, and I need to make them little icons.
let's see if Dust.
Ooh. Reverse might do.
Okay, Dust doesn't talk in this chapter, so Dust doesn't matter right now. But
Oh, right, because we're right after a
My
mental.
rules.
Oh, right. I'm Dyrus. I forgot about this.
Okay,
He's also.
Void.
I gotta remember
Apollo
my
is the only
Dyrus.
one that I
reverse.
remember that is mine.
This is gonna get so confusing. I hate
Hold up.
you.
I have to remember my Dyrus voice.
Okay.
Imagine having voices for your characters and not just yapping.
Oh, hold up. I need to fix this real fast.
Okay, Void, you can.
Just make
Oh
everyone
my gosh.
British.
Reverse Void, anti-Void, red,
Yeah.
blue heart. You can voice Stretch for this, and Dust if you'd like to. Or Skittish can be Dust if they want. You don't want to be Dust? No, we're not doing text to speech. Get out of here.
Sorry.
Wait, who is,
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I don't mind drinking. So,
For a minute, I really
shall I
was
do?
kind of confused of like other void. I was like, "There's another void," and I look in BC. I'm like, "Oh, I see now."
We gotta get some custom nicknames for the anti-void.
They have reverse. That's,
Yeah, they
That
have
too.
reverse. I just
Yeah.
didn't see it at first because I see anti-void first every time.
yeah.
I can switch it around if needed.
That would be useful, but
Like
you don't have
anti-void,
to.
anti-void. I'm like creature blink at, but
Flashback to last reading when Void wasn't here and we just had the anti-void do it.
That's when I changed it.
No, you don't have to change it again. It's fine. You guys are different colors, so it's just me. I just need to look at the color. That's like the main way that I tell people apart, low-key. Which is why I have so many roles. I'm sorry.
Can we
Pierre, but that's
I
genuinely one of the reasons I have so
do
many.
a silly little goofy request for a different role colors for Ryder and Isaac? I can't tell them apart.
Oh my god, Ryder and Isaac, and sometimes Oiter kill me.
It's
I
because
used
they
to
have the
think
lore role.
Ryder and Isaac were the same person.
Yeah, same!
It's because they have like the
I
gray
never
purple
saw them in a
photo
VC
and
together.
the
fucking
None of
dumbass
VC,
that went 23
oh.
for a second. I was like, this is a little low. And then I checked
up?
again on the doc, and then I see 33. I'm like, fuck.
Hold up, let me
I've
find
edited my name.
my live
you.
from
It
last
looks
time
good.
because I gotta remember what voice I did for it.
No, I'm not changing the things.
It was mine.
You guys have the lore roles. I don't want it to. I mean, I could change that, I guess. But like
Well-
everyone with the lore role would have to agree. And there's like 7 people with that role.
Who was the birds? I can just hear
Sorry,
them.
those are mine.
It's okay. I'll go
It's funny
silent
because
while
they've been silent all day, and now they're just chirping their heads off. Please.
My birds are the opposite. As soon as I'm on VC, they stay silent. But when I'm off, they're the loudest creature known. And
Mine are just quiet. They just kind of like chill. And then the minute I get on VC, they start screeching or like chirping or something, and it's like, hey, hi, hello.
Okay. Are we waiting for anyone or
I don't think so. I
or
think we're
Luna
just.
is
I
deaf
can hear-
and pause.
think
Oh,
we're
actually,
just audio was being a bit.
we're waiting on Luna and Darkling, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
oh yeah,
Just
Did you
because
get it
I'm
set up?
borrowing
Lloyd?
any-
Yeah, I got it up.
Am I
I sent the
Am I
stream
borrowing-
link and the readings.
You're borrowing Stretch, I think.
And
Okay,
Dust
thank
doesn't
you.
speak in this chapter, but if he does come up, you can also take him.
Okay. It's just so I'm clear. I can
Yeah.
just make a note of it. Thank you.
Yeah.
I returned.
Why is Desi so talkative in this chapter? Oh, I know. No. Oh, this is Lust.
Oh! Ooh, hold up. I need to
33.
get. I'm gonna grab a water real fast. Hold up. I need to chug something upside down or whatever because I'm dying of hiccups.
I can't wait to not.
That was the wrong.
I'm absolutely not. How many words is this? Pause. I am not narrating this. My poor throat. My poor no.
Does
Oh,
Apollo
no.
talk any in this
You're
chapter?
such a baby.
No, I was in theater. I'm very used to long ass scripts. I don't like it though,
Yeah.
and my throat hurts from last night. Oh yeah, Apollo talks a bit
Yeah, okay.
in this.
I was gonna say if Apollo doesn't
Oh.
talk, I probably could.
Because this is
I can do narrator.
Okay,
I assume that's
awesome.
what we're talking about.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because it's Lust's lore chapter, and I ain't reading all that.
That's fair.
Yeah.
This is also the chapter that Kigo finds out his HP,
Oh boy.
or the chapter after. I think the
Oh, I
aftermath.
forgot that Luna's still in.
It is the
Let me
aftermath, yes.
Let me just
This is gonna be fun.
fix that.
Oh no, poor Alexis.
Huh?
I just lost the story.
Have they? I think they caught up. Where is she? Because I remember she wanted to join so bad last time.
Yeah.
Her.
She might be at work.
Invite her. Poor thing.
My mom looked at me.
No.
I scared her.
No one has custom roles.
Besides
doing
me, because I'm cool.
Because you're supposed to be my moderator.
I am your
Sobbing.
moderator.
That's not.
That's for
not
people who
Darkling's
commission
custom
art.
role. That's not Darkling's custom role. That's a role for commissioning.
That's art commission.
That's like that's not. None of the roles are custom except for my IRL.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Literally, the only two custom roles on the server are my boyfriend's, Sarah's, and Pierre's, because they're mob.
No, it's just Darkling's the only one who paid money for the art. No, I think Luna has
No,
it.
like 4 people have the role, except people. Luna and Soda have.
Realizing that
OMG money
Have,
bags.
yeah, they have that above
Yeah.
it, so they don't have the role color. But yeah, there's like literally no one except for, and even Pierre's just says mod. Like it's not. I just said the color. Literally
I'm
no.
not
Just a
cool.
lot.
No, no.
Losers is for people who didn't read Jay's Fix. So most of the newer people.
Yeah, like the only people that have loser are like friends, like people adding their IRL friends and shit. We have a roles channel, goofy ass. Go look at the roles channel. Look.
I put so much effort into that. You better appreciate
Darkling-
it.
No,
not
because I
yet.
got that.
Darkling, oh my
No, because
God.
the friend that
What
the
about
friend that
Nothing. I said the wrong name.
sobbing. No,
I was looking
the
at Darkling's face and trying to talk to Ryder.
crying.
That's okay. I think Ryder has been
friend-
called every single name but Ryder in the past, like, 2 days.
Oh, I've called Ryder.
I'm gonna start calling Ryder Isaac.
That's already happened.
Yeah, but like
Ryder's also been called Oiter like 5 times.
Oh yeah,
I
Well,
don't
what's
think
like-
I've
how
been
do
in
I-
VC
how do I
enough
mix
with them
Oiter and,
to do that yet.
and Isaac. Isaac.
I hear my crimes are
I'm gonna
being
start calling
talked
Ryder
about.
Ozempic.
Even the part where you called Ryder Oiter like 5 times yesterday.
Ryder's name is
Yeah.
Ozempic now.
We just have a lookalikes roll, like for those who look alike.
No,
Pierre jumps
Sorry,
there.
Pierre will actually shank me if I add more roles.
I would. It would be
Or
out
would
of
you
all.
approve of this? The
They creep your
lookalike roll.
eyes at the rolls.
What
Alright.
role? Which role?
A lookalike roll.
I'm
A
not-
Or
lookalike
two
role?
lookalikes.
No, I do not
Twin
approve
role.
of that. Not even a
No.
little bit do I approve of that.
We don't need to do that.
Hello. I don't
How
know.
are you
It's
mixing up these names?
Ryder
Yeah.
and Isaac have the like
lore role.
same colors and
They have the
like
same
their
role.
profile pictures for me for some reason look similar.
Yes,
I know
they
they're
do.
not, but
Yeah.
they do.
It's the color.
not-
They
they
have
are.
And
the same
who?
color.
Wait. Ryder and
And I roll-
Ryder
Isaac.
and
Isaac.
Isaac.
Which I can remember both
haven't
names
seen
very well.
Isaac's.
It's just I can't say them at the right times.
Start
It's
a
like a
stream.
repetitive
Ryder, I
thing.
can yeet your blue roll and you can be red.
Yeah, someone starts here.
Yeah,
I got you.
I have stream.
Void's got the actual stream up. If you go
Okay,
to
yes.
Yeah, if you go to
Yeah.
readings,
Go live for a minute. It's go live because Skittish is
reading link
breaking.
in
He's saying go
readings chat.
live in the go
where the pings are.
stream your screen in Discord is what he's asking for.
Oh, and Discord.
Here, is this fixed?
Right.
Do we need to pin every single stream? I think Darkly made a master pin.
Yeah, there is
I have
a
been
master
pinned.
one.
There is.
Yes. And
Okay.
it also
Yeah,
I
there
also
is.
made a stream playlist. So like you just really just need to go to the playlist link and
You're
you have
welcome.
access to all of them.
Yeah,
No,
the master.
I don't know. I was asking if we could not pin each individual stream and just have.
Oh
the
no,
master
we're not.
post.
No, we're not
I've-
gonna do that. Here,
I
what
get
do
The
you-
no-
master
Yeah.
post where all the links are have
It's
been pinned,
pinned.
and then
I like
Void's Void made
Playlist.
like a playlist, and that has been pinned, but we're not
Wait.
pinning each one individually.
So we
Yeah,
have
just
the
did, though.
Ruth.
I think you
We
guys
have
the
Void's
pinned,
YouTube channel
the
pinned,
document.
the Google Doc with all the roles,
No, I don't
and
think my
then
channel is pinned itself. It's just
That's
a
fine.
link
Yeah, I'm looking
to
at
the
the
first
now.
one.
I just was making sure. I don't mind the first one being pinned, so it's easy to find. Yeah, it happened. The claiming
Observation.
your
Oh, Void.
the AI.
I just remembered. We gotta put my stream for the Ruth reading in
Oh,
the
yeah.
list.
Grabby hands.
There are 10 people in the chat.
Give me
Very
the
good on
YouTube link to
counting.
that.
Yeah, we've had more.
I got you. I think I've actually linked it. It's on the linking.
Is it?
Should be at least, yeah. Because
It's okay. There's only 1, 2.
Put my stream up there,
4,
right?
5, 6
Oh, I see.
people are
Thanks.
speaking.
I remember you
That's
asking for it.
As long as we're very attentive to whenever it's our turn for the script.
Oh my gosh. That was... There's many people, it's so silly goofy. But we do have to do the muting thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Check that we'll watch before this and see what characters are interesting. Be a little silly goofy.
Okay, is everyone a-okay? Everyone good?
I believe so.
I'll put a poll in the normal just because
That's so much effort, Jay. Just ask yay or nay.
that's what I'm fucking doing.
Got 10 seconds to say nay.
Actually, you have 23 hours to say yes or no.
Huh? Wait for what?
Because I forgot to change the shit.
I say no.
Who's no?
Pierre, I will ban you.
No, you won't.
I will change your color.
We need blue still. Let blue live.
Yeah, man, I'm very important as blue.
Okay, Pierre saying no. So
And
we can
red.
start.
We need the smoking voice from Pierre.
Huh?
What? What? I just
You have red too. That's your other role.
Yeah, you have.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know
and
Red's my role, but I just they have the exact same voice. I'm gonna be so
They
honest
really
with you.
do.
They really do.
I can't do accents and like differentiate stuff like that. Like for the life of me, I'm really really
Yeah,
bad.
that's so.
You sound more. It's one where you sound more aggressive.
Who needs a day to say yes or no?
Sobbing.
Heck yes or no.
Okay, so are
I
we
feel like
starting?
randomly if.
Yes. Oh my God. Let's start. Mute up.
Everyone mute.
Okay. Chapter 33.
Yeah.
I need to do that. Oh shit. Just a sec. I was ready, and then
Don't worry, only 11 people are awake.
It was a great start.
I know. Oh. Okay. Blue honestly loved his job. Working as a security guard for a children's attraction was surprisingly fun. The place he worked out was a perfect mix of cart ranch and surge, and the regulars loved him. It honestly felt like being in his own universe. Comforting kids after falling from a taller part of the wall climb, there's a foam pit, but it was still scary. Nailing kids in dodgeball when he had time, and conversing with the minorly tipsy adults in the VIP bowling lane were honestly the highlights of his day sometimes. Nothing compared getting home and seeing his brother, though, especially after a long shift. After a couple of years in this universe, meeting more and more alternates, he'd actually come to enjoy his new ragtag family. He'd gotten comfortable with Edge's coffee, his morning runs with Pyrus, Helvetica's germophobia, etc. It was all very domestic. Even the new developments had quickly made their way into his affections. Apollo joining their morning runs, and Kigo's occasional pop-in to accidentally give lore on their horrendous past. Apollo was a good friend who didn't complain too much when Blue fussed over him. He was Sans, he couldn't help it. Kigo, he didn't know him all that well just yet, but their motorcycle ride was fun, and he was very amusing to bother. Kigo also didn't seem to get too offended by scares, accidental or otherwise, which was great with how often Blue snuck up on people without realizing. Kigo was also very cute, so Blue heavily enjoyed flustering him, and would absolutely be doing it on purpose. Blue had a long day at work, but not necessarily a bad one. He was working the bumper boats section of the water area, meaning he had to genuinely dodge to not get wet. It was kind of a workout, but he didn't mind. On his way out from work, he noticed a new little rack in the gift shop filled with soft, colorful fabric. He grinned and immediately made his way over, checking out the cute patterns on the bandanas, before finding one that immediately made him think of Kigo. It was half blue, a shade very similar to his magic, half the same color of the hoodie he often wore. Wasn't sure if it was his favorite color or anything, but it would for sure match. He had no regrets in swiping his card for it and shoving it into the pocket of his bike gear. A teen girl noticed him hopping onto his bike and immediately fangirled to her friends, which made him chuckle and humor her with a wave before revving his engine and taking off. His work was about a 30-minute ride home, so he set his helmet to Bluetooth the first red light and subtly bobbed his head to whatever pop music started playing. Couldn't help but grin and sing along to Hot to Go. He fucking loved Chapel Rowan. He still had the song stuck in his head even as he pulled into the driveway, pressing the button on his handle to remotely open the garage and roll in, humming softly to the chorus. So he took off his helmet and hung it onto the wall next to Helvetica's, flipping off his thick, skid-proof jacket. While Blue was a very safe driver, he could never control anyone else or their cars, so he made sure to dress for the slide, not the ride, in case he was ever hit. Sure, his brother had a lot of friends and a much bigger family now, but Blue wasn't dumb enough to think Stretch wouldn't be affected if he died. The risk wasn't worth it. Blue took the soft bandana out of his pocket and smiled, thinking of how he would present Kigo with it. He could say he found it and thought of him, which would be true, or he could say he wanted them to match, which would also be true. He could say both. Stepping quietly into the house, he saw Kigo with his back turned and got a different idea. He just tied around his neck and winked to see him blush. It might spook Kigo a little, but he was a good sport about being scared, so Blue figured it wouldn't be a big deal. He stepped closer and slipped the bandana over his head, pulling it a little secured around his neck, but accidentally caught it around his mouth. Blue snickered and fixed it with quick fingers.
Oops, I forgot how short you are.
He skirted around him to see his expression after Kigo didn't react, and felt his soul drop when he saw his eyelight was blacked out and he wasn't breathing.
Ego?
Apollo must have heard the concern in his voice, or was watching the interaction because he came up behind Blue and crouched in front of his brother.
Sans? Key?
Kigo didn't react, and Blue panicked a little, his eyelids shifting to pinpricks and healing magic lighting up his hands just in case.
Did I do this? What did I do?
Apollo immediately stood and placed a hand on Blue's shoulder.
Relax, Blue, he's fine. The banana just probably reminded him of the muzzle. He'll snap out of it in a minute. It's not your fault. None of us knew it was a trigger of his.
Apollo noticeably didn't touch Kigo, his hand hovering but not making contact. Blue followed his lead and took a step back, not touching him. Red came up behind Kigo, concerned.
What happened?
Apollo frowned.
He was triggered, probably having a panic attack. He just needs to go somewhere quiet for a moment.
Red placed a hand on Kigo's shoulder, and Apollo flinched a little.
What? Don't touch?
Apollo gestured half-heartedly at Kigo before he gave up with a shrug as Kigo didn't attack.
The trigger, I thought it might make him more bitey.
Red snickered.
Oh, that's alright. Edge has bit me plenty.
Apollo frowned, hands hovering over Kigo's blind spot and his cheek.
I think he would bite me and never forgive himself.
Red slipped off his jacket and held it in his free hand.
You're probably right. I can take him to my room and sit with him for a bit until he comes out of it. If he bites me, it's no big deal.
He hesitated, fingers itching to hold his brother, but nodded.
Thank you, Red.
And they both disappeared. Blue stared for the entire interaction, tugging lightly at the bones in his hands. When Apollo turned to him, he broke.
I'm so sorry.
Apollo shook his head.
I'm sure Kigo will more than forgive you when he wakes up. The little gremlin does not hold grudges. You do not need to apologize to me, though.
Apollo smiled, patting Blue's arm and sitting down near Lust again.
Kigo is tougher than he looks. I promise you.
Classic sat down, and Helvetica came back from the kitchen with Pyrus. Jay?
Wait, what? Where?
You're Helvetica, aren't you?
Am I?
Yeah, you are!
Wait,
right?
Yeah, you are, in fact, yeah.
I'm so sorry.
It's good.
Lock in.
I thought I was only Desi.
No, lock in.
No,
When
you're
the
dead.
devil happened?
Apollo shrugged a little.
Fuck, wait. My brother had a little scare. He'll be fine. I promise.
Helvetica frowned.
Are you sure?
Apollo raised a brow, not realizing why Helvetica held so much genuine concern for his brother at first, then remembering the hurricane incident.
Yes, I'll check on him after dinner too.
Lust poked at his food with his fork.
Kind of scary to see him like that. He was smiling and laughing just a minute ago.
Blue nodded a little.
It was like the mall trip.
Lust rubbed at his face and ate quietly. Apollo hummed.
Honestly, I'm not surprised. We learned some kind of insane news today, so we were both already thrown off balance.
Lust paused, furrowing his brow.
News?
Apollo huffed.
I wasn't aware Kigo had 1 HP before gaining LV.
Lust and Blue choked. Helvetica froze mid-serving Mallory, who just teleported in with Stretch, and both of the Dance Brothers and Space Brothers, who just came downstairs, stared silently in shock. Stretch frowned.
He didn't tell you?
Paula scoffed as Hop, Tango, Cosmic, and Orion took seats at the table, shooting him curious and concerned looks.
Worse, he didn't even know. Guess who never taught us how to check ourselves. Sans, Kigo thought we had around 20 the whole time.
Blue stared at the table for a moment, honestly unable to comprehend not knowing something like that. Don't get him wrong, his father wasn't all that great either, abandoning him and his brother very young to pursue his own career, but he was still a father. Not teaching someone how to check themselves was severe child neglect. He knew Kigo and Apollo had been through some bad shit, especially after hearing about the filed teeth and the muzzles, which were equally sickening, but for some reason, the lack of education was especially striking to him. Stretch felt a little sick. He was nervous around Kigo when he first met Skeleton, mainly because Kigo almost attacked Blue. Freely admitting to killing Gaster also made him nervous, but after hearing Apollo had his rib cage caved in because of Gaster, he understood. Blue wasn't a violent person in the slightest, but Stretch knew he would have ripped out Gaster's spine if he had ever pulled something like that. If anything, Kigo was merciful. Pyrus kept his jaw clenched. He didn't know Sans had such low HP until he was a teen. He was pretty upset and worried over Sans for years after, and still worried today. He knew Kigo and Apollo's Gaster was neglectful. He knew that by the way Kigo's ribcage rattled, not to mention the horror stories they've heard from the pair. But Kigo was definitely still Pyrus' number one worry. He was just so small. Helvetica knew Mallory had low HP since the skeleton was born. 1 HP was a death sentence in their universe. He wanted more than anything to keep his brother pure as long as possible, but he had to raise Mallory's HP if he wanted his brother to live. It resulted in him dropping some more dangerous monsters' HPs to 1, then letting Mallory finish it off. Helvetica will never forget how hard Mallory cried after the first kill. Kigo having low HP wasn't a surprise to him, or any of the other skeletons. but he couldn't imagine not knowing his brother's or his own HP. Another question is, the fire crushed Kiga's skull before he killed Castor. How the hell did he survive that? Mallory liked Kigo. He was comforting in a way that most of the Sanders were, like extra older brothers, and didn't judge him or Helvetica or anyone for their past. Also, Kigo was one of the few that could get away with checking on Vet. His brother was prickly and refused help from anyone, but Kigo somehow wormed his way into someone Helvetica found comfort in pretty quickly. Mallory felt bad for the guy, not knowing he only had 1 HP for so long, but he had 4 LV, so it had definitely raised. Plus, this universe was pretty safe. He was just glad Kiga survived that long while not knowing. Lust had made a friend in Kiga, a close friend. He and Mars had been close for a while, especially after they'd both been ostracized for their past. His relationship with Mars was complicated, but at the very least it was a small, romanticized taste of home. Sleepless nights spent on his arms or between his legs were always immensely satisfying, but he was starting to get worried about the little spark of affection that started to blossom. Mars's overall protectiveness didn't really help Lust in shaking off his gag feelings, but Kiga had distracted him from that for a while. Kiga was funny in a way he hadn't experienced since his own universe. He didn't really make puns or anything, but he had the self-deprecating, low-key, suicidal dark humor that Lust genuinely missed from his home universe. Kiga reminded him of Grilby sometimes. Lust had moved on, for the most part, after Grilby died. It was both sudden and slow. He knew it was coming after Gaster produced a new serum shipped straight from Hotland that hadn't been properly tested yet. A lot of monsters got sick, around 100. About 30 died. Grilby was one of them. It hurt the less physical or squishy monsters a lot more, so Grilby being an elemental did him no favors. Lust hadn't even heard about the new serum until Grilby had already taken it. He had about a week to say goodbye, which is probably why he wasn't overly ripped apart by it. But there were still days that he curled up and cried over him. His soul felt ripped apart, hollowed, and sewn back together after their bond broke. Left a crack, but he was able to rely on Desi to keep him from falling. His HP being 1 and his soul cracking scared the shit out of Desi, but he survived. Lust wondered how Kiga survived that hole in his head, or the crack in his wrist. He wondered how badly Kiga missed his own Grilby. He wondered if his Grilby was the only one who didn't survive. Pop cleared his throat a little.
Is he going to be alright?
Apollo nodded.
Yep. He's a very persistent monster. I would have thought his trait was determination if I didn't know it was integrity.
Lust poked at his food again.
1 second. He's a good guy.
Apollo paused but smiled softly while staring at his own food.
Yeah, he is.
You hummed softly as he felt large hands wrap gently around your ribcage and adjust you to lay their wing resting behind you over their form. You were too tired to open your eyes by a long shot, but you recognized your brother's presence anywhere and happily leaned into it. He tapped his teeth against your forehead, and you had to force back tears immediately. You weren't sure why, but Apollo being near you and affectionate and safe made you emotional. Okay, that was a lie. You knew exactly why. You loved your brother. Simple. Someone. Mars? Mars hummed in front of you before whispering something to Apollo and fully picking you up. You whined softly, which he hushed with a chuckle and a nudge before you were placed somewhere soft. Your bed? Apollo slipped in next to you, and you faintly heard the door shut before you were wrapped in feathers and fur. The next morning, your phone was filled with messages from the other skeletons, and your arms were filled with your little brother. You snickered and pressed a skeleton kiss to his forehead, which he smiled sleepily at and yawned before hugging you tight.
Feeling okay.
He nudged you gently.
Jay.
Sorry, I scrolled up. Where'd it go?
Just read the line break.
Well, I scrolled up so far.
Oops.
Oh, there we go. Thanks for staying with me. I promise I'm alright.
You gently put his wings, which quickly diverged into you preening him before he left for his morning run. You grabbed your phone after he left and checked the many notifications you had. Pyra's checking in on you, Blue spamming you with apologies and are you okays? Helvetica and Mallory with their own unique versions of I hope you feel better soon. He responded with confirmation that you were right to all of them, and brushing off Blue's apology and letting him know it wasn't his fault in the slightest. Even Red had sent you a message, a short and sweet one, letting you know that he was there if you ever wanted to talk about your universe with him, which was really sweet. Okay, Red. He changed the contact to Big Brother Red instead of Big Red, and sent a quick message thanking him. He brushed it off and offered to teach you about your soul anytime. Less surprised you, however. 2 messages wasn't rare or anything, but it was the content of the second that kind of concerned you. Eros. Hey, sweetheart, I hope you're alright. You gave us a little scare lol yesterday at 9:35 p.m. Eros. You said I could talk to you if I needed. Did you mean it? Yesterday, 9:37 p.m. Sweetheart. Of course, where did you want to talk about it? Also, I'm fine. Eros. Good morning, sweet. Would your room be okay? I don't know if I'm supposed to be reading these.
You can just keep going. Keep going.
Okay.
Just keep going. You're already doing it.
Sure, come by whenever you feel like it. Would now be an option? Let me brush my teeth and you got it. Of course, I'll be there in 20. 20? Eat breakfast, sweetheart. Suppose I deserve the worry. You snickered, hopping out of bed and speed walking to the bathroom to quickly brush your teeth. When you were done, you changed into something clean and comfortable before making your way towards the kitchen. Mars gently patted your back as you walked in, and Jupiter smiled, immediately handing you a plate. Smiled back and sat next to Mars as usual, joking around with him and Jupiter once he also took a seat. Jupiter asked his daily dose of questions about your wings and tail, which you always found fun, and Mars quietly inquired about what went down the day before.
Oh, yeah. Apollo didn't know I had 1 HP and got mad at me for not telling him, which, fair. But I didn't know I only had 1 HP before gaining LV until yesterday either, so... Yeah, not fun. Anyway, Blue came home and he was trying to give me a bandana, but when he, tried to put it on me, he forgot how short I am, which isn't fair, honestly. I'm literally taller than him with my leg shifted, and wrapped it around my mouth instead, and my dumb monkey brain thought it was a muzzle for some reason, and I had a panic attack. So nothing much.
Mars and Jupiter blinked silently at you before Jupiter pinched his nose bridge.
Okay, please, what the hell?
Lust, who had apparently walked in during or before your explanation, piped up from behind you near the front door.
That's one way to put it, sweetheart.
You turned and gave him a smile, which he quickly returned as he walked up to you and the others. Jupiter grinned and waved at Les.
Good morning! Would you like some breakfast? You promised to drag Kiko away if he makes any more attempts at traumatizing us.
He pouted, but Les snickered and patted your back.
Nah, I already am at the mansion. I just came out to hang out with Sweetheart here.
He blushed a little, looking away. So what if you really like nicknames? Mara snickered and nudged you. You really are too sweet, Snack. Don't deny it. The nickname took you a moment, but choked again, coughing politely to hide your genuinely delighted laugh. No fucking way he just called you Snack. That's fucking hilarious. Lust raised a brow to Mars, who shrugged. He knows. He doesn't care. Lust shrugged
Sounds
back.
like Sweetheart, honestly.
You deadpanned.
I'm just saying, if you call me bite-sized, we're having problems.
The entire group snickered at you before you caved and laughed along. Sighing softly, you got up and washed your plate before leading Lust to your room. Smiled and looked around, lifted by the jokes. He sat curiously at your desk, smiling and looking at all your fancy art supplies.
Can I look through your sketchbook?
You sat on the floor next to him.
Sure. Don't be surprised if you see yourself or any of the others, though.
Lust smiled and sat next to you, flipping happily through your sketchbook. He snickered at your doodles of Apollo squirting a water gun at you, or of your void cat. He watched his eyelids go a little fuzzy with affection at your multiple portraits of Mars and himself. He asked to keep the one of you made of his brother surrounded by stars, which of course you allowed. It didn't take long for Lust to sigh softly and curl up a little, placing your sketchbook off to the side. You hummed and sat at his side, letting him lean into you if he wished. He hesitated before wrapping an arm around his shoulder.
Was there something specific you wanted to talk about?
Lust picked at the bones in his fingers again.
Was there something you wanted to know?
You tilted your head, looking up to the right as you thought.
Maybe just while you were a little freaked out over Apollo and Desi. Was it that he stayed out late, or...
He stared at the floor.
Our universe wasn't... It wasn't horrible. Genuinely, hearing about the shit that happened to you and your brother, or Red, or Hedge, or Helvetica and Malvery, our shit was tame in comparison. But, seriously,
He gently rubbed his back.
Your universe was different, not better. Don't compare the two. I'm certain you've been through shit I couldn't even begin to imagine.
Lust blinked a few times, slow and deceptively calm, but didn't look up.
yeah, maybe. You've definitely had it worse than me, though. Sweetheart, I haven't really mentioned it, but I pay attention to the shit you say. You've been through testing worse than mine, and torture, and...
You gently tugged Lust to face you.
Hey, look at me. Where's all this coming from?
His brow furrowed and his jaw clenched.
I just feel like I'm being dramatic. Wanting to talk to you, anyone about this shit. You tell so much worse, but I'm going to sit here and complain about a couple extra orgasms.
You paused.
You feel like we're gonna judge you?
Lust hugged himself.
You were tortured. Red and Edge had to hurt each other and watch themselves get hurt to survive, and Valkyrie and Helvetica dealt with the same shit, but different. And Mars and Jupiter almost fucking starved to death. I just had a lot of sex. It's all I'm good for anyway. What right do I have to complain?
You stared at him for a moment, before dragging him into your arms and letting his head rest on the crook of your shoulder. You pressed your teeth to the top of his skull.
You are not only good for sex, Eros. You are so much more than that. Something is hurting or scaring you right now, and that's what's important. What you went through was traumatizing, I can tell. Do you really think Edge, for example, would have had a better life as a stripper than the captain of the Royal Guard?
Lust hesitated.
No. I haven't thought of it like that.
He pressed a skeleton kiss to his temple.
That's okay, Eros, but listen to me. Wanting or needing to talk is nothing to be ashamed about. The only reason you guys know so much shit about my past is because I cope with humor. I have to joke about it. Apollo needs to talk about it with me. Jupiter still feels guilt. Dust and Edge have both talked to me a bit about their universes too. I'm never gonna judge you. Sexual trauma, no matter what kind, is devastating, Eros. I'm genuinely grateful me and Apollo didn't go through that. You were not being dramatic.
Lust didn't speak for a while, before hesitantly wrapping his arms around you and going limp in your arms.
Promise?
He sighed softly with a smile.
Pinky promise, sweetheart.
He chuckled weakly.
That's my line.
He patted his back.
Sorry. Eros, then.
He blushed a little, huffing softly, caught the soft scent of grape lavender taffy and strawberry soda, and couldn't help but smile. All the skeletons genuinely smelt so good, it was unfair.
Why Eros? Why not... Shit, Aphrodite. Is that right?
He shrugged a little.
Aphrodite? I don't know.
Aphrodite is the goddess of beauty and lust, and Eros is the god of true love and desire, I think, at least. I've always seen Aphrodite as being a little more on the shallow side, while Eros believed in true, blind love. God was immortal, after all.
Lust stared into space for a moment.
Yeah?
You smiled.
Yeah, figured it fit you better.
He huffed softly with a smile.
Thank you, sweetheart.
Don't worry about it.
He resumed rubbing his back gently.
Are you ready to talk now, or did you want to just take a nap?
He hummed softly.
I can't tell you everything. It's half Desi's story too, but
Lust was pretty young when it all started, barely 16. It was announced by the king that the monster population was dangerously low and that action needed to be taken. Gaster had lived with his sons in Snowdon their entire lives, taking the ferry to work in the lab every day. When Asgore announced it, Gaster moved to Hotland to live in his lab, working day and night for a solution and sending money back home for Lust to take care of Papyrus. Desi was already 13 and loved his brother more than anything, so the change was honestly a pleasant one. Lust was 17 when the testing started. Do this,
Shit, this is.
or Luna, do you want to read Gaster's part here?
Correct, fingers. I've done Gaster before. I can be zesty as fuck. Let's go.
Zesty Gaster.
Sobbing.
Because if we want to see zesty, look at the beginning chapters for that.
Gaster too, though.
I don't care.
All of them are zesty. Go ahead.
Oh my god. Wait, go ahead to which one of us?
Luna, go.
Okay. Do this for your brother, Sans. I cannot pay for both of you and a tester. If this works, we'll be set for life.
That's how Gaster convinced his oldest to be injected with the first sample of heat serum. LT, he called it. Lust was only 17, which was around the average age for a monster's first heat, but this was far different. Gaster forgot HP would be a factor and gave Sans about 4 times the dose that he would have required. Tests found his magic levels were fucked. Not only did the drug itself only last 2 weeks, Gaster was aiming for a month, but its symptoms weren't what Gaster was going for in the slightest. Increased sensitivity was a goal, but it had skyrocketed Sans' sensitivity to the point of pain for the entire 2 weeks, and didn't decrease much after. His emotions were unstable, much like a hormone balance in young teens, but thankfully that only lasted for 2 weeks. Its main goal was to increase fertility, but it failed. Before it fucked up Sans' magic to the point of permanent infertility, it generally decreased fertility. Gaster shrugged after the 2 weeks were over, no pity for his shaking, wounded son.
Next sample will work better.
Gaster said Sans had a choice.
Are you setting you, or on your brother?
Any Sans, or anyone who knew Sans would know that wasn't a choice. To Gaster's credit, the serums got better. Sans would never be able to have children, and he'd never be able to have sex like a normal monster. But he was getting paid handsomely by the king for helping monster kind. It was enough to get Papyrus into the art classes he begged to go to, and keep both of them fed and clothed, so it was worth it. Every time Paps went to the class, he'd have him teach Sans how to do everything he learned. Sans told Papyrus and himself that it was to help Papyrus practice, but Sans knew it was because he desperately wanted to be an artist too. He drew portraits for the most part, and made good savings on the side by getting commissions from monsters to paint them or their loved ones. He bought Papyrus a sewing machine when he asked how to make clothes. Papyrus got very good at it, making thick, warm clothes for the people in Snowdon. Papyrus was 16 when the first completed serum came out. Minors were not required to take it, thankfully, and Sans got to keep it away from his little brother for another year, but it was mandatory for all other monsters. Somewhere between those 2 years, Sans met Grilby and hit it off. Gaster continued making newer, better serums. Sans was 20 when Gaster died. He didn't know Gaster and Asgore were lovers by any means, but someone did, and took Gaster out as a protest to the king and the serums. Sans didn't care at first, he held no affection for his father, but their lives quickly crumbled when people were too heated to buy Papyrus's warm clothes, and only wanted sex-related art from Sans. They lost pretty much all forms of making money within the month of Gaster's death. Sure, Sans had savings, and would be able to sell art to the occasional buyer, but it wasn't enough to buy the right fabrics for Papyrus while putting food on the table. Sans got a job at Grilby's. His boyfriend, soulmate, whatever, let him be a server with good pay. It wasn't long until Grilby had asked if he'd dance at the bar, since he had to convert it to a strip club if he wanted to keep it open. Sans accepted. Lust made good tips at Grilby's, but Desi missed making clothes to the point of getting his own job working at the brothel once he turned 18. The only reason Lust accepted was because the brothel was Grilby's brothel, and Lust would be able to tell from the soul bond if Desi was alright or not. Everything was fine at first. Lust didn't know the new serums coming out, even after Gaster's death, were still Gaster's work. Lust had built a small resistance to the heat serums after the years of testing, but was still majorly affected by the first one. Sex was hard, but he'd deal with it if money was in a pinch. At the very least, he actually liked pole dancing. So did Desi, but Desi preferred actual dancing more. Sucks Lust couldn't find any dance classes for him. One of Gaster's serums was faulty. It had gotten infected with DT during one of Alfie's experiments, but wasn't noticed until it was already shipped to Snowden. A lot of monsters got sick. Those who took the pill instead of the shot were able to vomit it back up, but there were many monsters that died from DT overdose. Grilby was one. That was the point in Lust and Desi's lives where everything went crashing down. Lust took over the bar after the Grilby died, but was pretty torn up about it for obvious reasons. Desi had been keeping secrets for months. He hadn't been working at Grilby's, but in the royal harem. Asgore had done something to Desi, broke his spirit, made him talk less. At one point, he rubbed his back gently.
Desi almost fell.
Oh no, that was me. Sorry.
Oh, wait, never mind. Sorry.
I really thought that was Lust.
I could not tell.
I couldn't either. Desi almost fell. That's who you were talking about in the car, weren't you?
Lust nodded, laid on your chest while he talked. He didn't interrupt until he stopped.
I'm so sorry for your loss, Eros. Grovey, he deserves so much better than that. You deserved so much better than that. Desi, too.
Lust had a slight tremble.
Desi's quiet. He hasn't always been like that. I'm terrified to know what the king did, and he still hasn't told me.
He frowned, brow furrowing with concern.
You don't think...
No, I don't. Asgore had very strict consent laws, and Desi would have told me if something like that happened. I know that.
He nodded a little.
Okay. He's probably just not ready yet. Whatever happened, it sounds traumatic.
Lust clenched his jaw.
Your brother, he's good, right? Rain too?
He paused.
Of course. I don't know Orion well, but Apollo's an angel.
Literally. He stared at the floor.
Consent laws were strict, but shit still happened. Metaton. Fuck, it was brutal. Falling asleep somewhere that isn't home in my universe, that's literally asking for it. Literally. So, when I was just scared.
He blinked, feeling a little sick.
Were you?
Lust immediately shook his head.
No. Groped, harassed. Sure, but never that. I feel like I can trust you genuinely, and I don't even know why. And I've talked to Apollo many times. He and Desi really get along. And this is seriously the most I've heard him speak to anyone except for me and Edge. Maybe Red? So I'm really happy they're friends. And I know, and I realize now that Desi trusted Apollo enough to fall asleep next to him outside, and your brother carried and helped him. But it was terrifying at that moment. Desi didn't even tell me that he was leaving.
He frowned.
I can promise you that Apollo would never. There was a girl that tried something with him a little while back. He was fine, but I'm certain he'd never put someone else in that situation.
Lust stared at you for a moment.
I trust you. And him. That is why I freaked out. I just realized that it took me a really long time to answer and say sorry.
You gently ran your knuckles over his skull.
Don't worry about it, Eros. Is there anything else you want to talk about? Was it just the thing with Desi that triggered this, or was it something else?
Lust grimaced and hesitated hard.
I thought my heat was starting early, and I really
really freaked out. Please don't tell anyone about that. I don't want anyone to know when that is, even if I trust the guys here.
You nodded.
Of course.
You stared again before relaxing back against your chest.
It was mainly the Desi thing, though. And I think I'm all talked out.
He gently poked your sternum, smiling at the tail he only just noticed to be wrapped around his ankle.
You're really good at this therapy thing. It's like your presence compels me to speak. It's so easy. I just met you, but I really, really like you. I don't get it.
He laughed softly. He snickered, patting his upper arm.
I've been told I'm easy to love or something.
You fell asleep on your chest. The floor was oddly comfortable that night.
Gay! They're gay!
so
Your
gay.
Honor, they're gay!
so
I love them! I love them!
This
holding
chapter
you
hurts
ever
so
so
much
gently.
worse after the most recent chapter.
Oh,
It really is! Because it's like, oh, my brother would have told me if something happened, and now here we are.
head in hand.
Jay,
No,
this is what we're here now.
No, by the way,
Guys,
I
no
knew it. I knew
spoilers.
it when I was writing that.
I thought you didn't remember
for
that.
Sure.
Oh no, I knew. No.
I'm getting you the
Skittish,
truck.
you don't get context.
I
You
will
don't
hit
get
you with the same big truck that hit me.
If
I
you
can't
haven't
say that.
read
That's
those
spoilers.
recent chapters,
I
you
can't
don't
say
get
that.
context.
I cannot say that.
No?
They're gay. Oh, cause
They're
no,
gay, Your
they're
Honor.
gay.
They're gay. The
Oh, I gotta see what I
Ego
missed
and
while I was reading.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Eros. Yeah, I will be changing Lust's name to Eros from now on because it feels out of character for him to keep Lust.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think in the other fix, I'm either gonna switch them all to Eros, like inside of Army Dreamers, and the other ones, like I'm not gonna go back into Ruth and change it. Like I like the development, but I either gonna switch him to Charm or keep Eros in the other fix.
Yay!
Like in Rainbow Rocks, I think
I
I'm gonna go
love
with
sounding
Charm.
like a actually emotional being in distress. That's my favorite thing to do.
You're about to get it again because he's emotional and in distress this chapter too.
Okay.
Chubby chew.
Onwards, next chapter then.
Give me a sec to read through all the messages I missed while I was reading.
Oh no.
I'm not looking at the
Many
chat. while
times
I'm
I had to
reading.
pause and be booking it extra orgasms is hilarious to say, by the way.
By the way, no, I was literally in chat giggling my ass off when I saw it was coming. Please, I wrote this not thinking this would ever be spoken aloud. I wrote this never thinking this would touch the lights. I never thought this would touch the light.
Also, I think it's hilarious how I was just straight talking to myself for several messages.
Like I guys were cheering me.
Hang
Like literally the next chapter, I'm going to be talking to myself for a full conversation. Because they literally have Helvetica and Kigo have a full conversation.
Well, let me introduce you. You can't, Skittish, you can't just say that without just expecting to get quoted. Darkling did in fact keep his pants on. You gotta accept. I know you saw it coming, but you can't just say that without
I am
just.
simply a theater kid.
Yep.
So real.
That's all I gotta say about the fact that I can read all of this with
Simply
a
a
straight
theater kid
face.
is crazy.
Me as fuck.
Which one?
Zombie!
They're gay, Your Honor. They're gay.
That's
Years.
that too.
Your Honor, I'm
Shoot me. I can't say Aphrodite.
Zombie!
Aphrodite. Shoot me.
Aphrodite.
Order.
I don't even know.
I feel like Kigo,
And we turn all the
Kigo
papyrus
pronounces
British.
Aphrodite
No,
because
we're
I
not
feel
all
like
theater
Kigo
kids,
would
I'm not a
pronounce it
theater
wrong.
That, you know what? That is so fair.
It fits.
That was a
I made it. I was in so much so in character that I said it wrong correctly.
Just a little silly goofy.
Skittish.
Surprisingly, I'm neither a band
Go back to where you
kid
came
or
from.
a theater kid. I'm just creature chat.
I yearn as the
British and a
Band
band
kid?
kid. Pick a
Oh my
struggle.
gosh! Burn the band kid! Burn the band kid!
Zombie?
No.
I am a theater
wouldn't-
kid.
Oh, wait, no, reverse is fucking British. Fuck, never mind. I was,
Yeah.
you guys are the same color. You guys are the same color.
British.
Mean and cruel.
The British are coming. The British are coming.
Go.
I'm
coming.
Damn. Well,
I'm a
are we
British
canonically
kid,
making one of the
Do you mean reverse
what's
is the British
which
one?
is the ship name between the
British.
three gays? Desi, Apollo, and Nedge. What are their ship
I think
names?
I don't have like an
Make one of them
actual
British,
one.
for the British are in fact
Don't
coming.
cry.
Hold on, wait. I
Isn't
think I made one
Apollo
on
already
Tumblr.
British? What do you mean? That's supposed to
my
be
God.
the accent that I give him.
Right, you soggy freaking bird.
Soggy bad.
Soggy bird noises.
Soggy bad noises.
I can't wait to get to the chapter where it's Holly making out.
I think we're all blind. The unique colors is what saves us, and me and Soda have different enough profile
colors,
pictures that it
yeah.
also saves us. That's the biggest thing. We have different enough things.
I 90% of the time go off of color, and you
I usually go off of
fucks
profile
with the same
pictures.
color.
Next year, April Fools, everyone gets turned the same color.
No.
5 p.m.
No, that would be so hell. That would be so hell.
Exactly. All the more reason to do it on April 1st.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad
I think
that
I
in
got
a
bit
year
by a
none of you
spider.
will
What the
remember that.
frick?
I'm so
Why are
glad that in a
spiders in
year
my
none of
room?
you will remember that conversation.
Oh.
What?
Oh,
I've already forgotten.
Exactly.
I
What?
wasn't
Wait,
listening.
what
I was
conversation?
playing crabs.
No, repeat what you just said.
You guys are talking about we should change everyone's roll colors to be the same for April Fools. April Fools isn't for another year because we just passed. I'm so glad that none of
I
you will
think you
remember that.
underestimate the ability of mine to
Oh my god, I
remember
can't
the
wait to get to
most
chapter
randomest ass
41.
shit that was like a year ago.
I will put it in my calendar.
Oh,
Jay.
we're over.
Don't
halfway now.
underestimate me.
I'm so close. I'm so ready to get to chapter 41.
Yeah, see,
Okay,
look,
wait,
yellow
I
agrees
gotta.
with me.
I cannot wait to the point where I could be a little gremlin and sound like I'm going to actually just have a stroke.
Yellow, please.
I can't wait to voice in that's I'll break down.
I can't wait to
I
get
gotta
to
grab
chapter
something.
41. I'm scrolling through. I thought I wrote the ship name in that, but no, I wrote Blueberry and Kegos. Another normal
That'll
is
be.
Blue and
Vaporwave?
Bet is Rottenberry. I don't like Rottenberry. I like Road Rage.
Burn it.
Vaporwave.
I like Road Rage for Blue and Helvetica specifically.
In theory, that'll be
Amazing.
like 3 weeks. If we manage to hop
Men in
and do
your area in
meetings
here.
actually every Saturday for the next 3 weeks.
Spamton. Where's Spamton come from?
I don't know.
I'm gonna call them Vaporwave.
Nice.
Ooh.
The trio for now, just like in my head, I've been calling them Vaporwave. That's not like what I want their actual ship name to be, though.
Yeah.
Like, they deserve a good one.
I think Vaporwave's pretty cool.
Like their color scheme, or I think I was like Sunset Trio or something like that. Like their colors are a nice like palette.
Ombre.
Chapter 34.
Okay. Chapter 34.
Is this somebody like aching, like really wants to narrate? If not, I will narrate. I will take that
Yeah.
as a no.
Get narrating.
Wait, didn't you say
Okay.
there was a
I don't have
conversation
a
that
drink.
you're going to have with yourself later in this specific
Yep,
chapter?
and it's going. I'm just gonna be talking for. I'm just gonna be talking to myself for like 400 words and narrating. It would be great.
Well, at least it's a shorter chapter.
Oh yeah. I hope you guys like my voice as much as you guys like Darkling.
Nah, you could never
Okay
be
when
up there.
Darkling. No, it's
could-
okay whenever
I could
Darkling has
also-
long chapters because everyone likes Darkling's narrating. My voice, questionable.
I could also do
Poor
it.
Crow.
I could do it.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
I don't care. If you want to do it, you can. If
It's
I don't care.
tempting.
You should
Does
let me
Does
narrate.
Apollo talk much in this chapter?
let me see.
Get the backups.
I think 18 times.
18 times. Oh, okay.
Okay, I
Oh,
say
yeah,
we
me and
manifest the
Hugo have a
backups
conversation.
then. We have people who don't have voices.
Yeah,
You
Pierre,
should let me.
Yeah.
You want me to
go ahead.
narrate?
Yeah, go ahead. I asked if anybody wanted to narrate, and no one said a word. And then the second I'm about
I
to
don't
start,
narrate for a reason.
I can narrate.
Sorry, my brain had to like take a second to process it. Sobbing.
Also, at forewarning, at 7, I will have to be leaving for a hot second to eat.
Yeah.
I don't even know your time zone
Push you
anymore.
at it.
But
I don't know
okay.
your time zone, Pookie.
What's your time right now?
It's like about an hour or two ahead
7?
of mine.
I can't change
Yeah, then 8
Jay's
for you.
name.
Okay.
Jay's at a higher role status than I do.
Yeah.
Last yawned,
What was I
his socket squinting shut and his fingers curling into fist. He slept great, which was rare for him, but it
No.
wasn't.
I will shoot you.
Oh,
I can skin a snake. It's not the first one I've
skinned.
skinned.
Never mind. Pierre's getting muted. Okay, I will start.
No!
Sobbing. I'll take it.
Yep, go ahead.
So I'm doing it now then. Right. Just making sure. Okay,
Oh, I need to be able to.
It's confirmation, please.
What?
I'm doing it now,
Yes,
right?
go for it.
Okay.
Go.
Okay. Lust yawned, his sockets squinting shut and fingers curling into fists. He slept great, which was rare for him, but a pleasant surprise. He smiled and relaxed back into the mattress. Wait, that is not a mattress. His sockets snapped open, his body keeping perfectly still. He was laying on someone's chest. He could feel each individual rib through their top, so... a skeleton. Cool. Okay. Please be Mars. Mars was the only skeleton he'd had sex with, and pretty much the only skeleton, other than his brother, of course, that he trusted enough to sleep near. Realistically, he knew the other skeletons would never, but the fear was still there. It wasn't Mars. Kigo looked very peaceful in his sleep. Lust took in the soft blue dusted over his nose bridge and cheek, and from this close he could see that some of his freckles looked like stars. Kigo was covered in void spots, which confused Lust a little, but he thought it was cute. Not cute! Lust blushed as hard as he realized he was sleeping on Kigo. Slept on Kigo. On the floor. Kigo was actually a pretty good pillow, oddly enough. Lust slipped off him, relieved when Kigo didn't tug him back like some monsters did in their sleep, and panted softly in relief. He sat next to him and stared for a moment while patting himself down with a blind hand to make sure his clothes were there. He relaxed when he felt nothing out of place and didn't really feel like he had sex. He stared at the floor until he remembered about talking about his home universe with Kigo. Oh, okay, maybe he was being dramatic. Kigo was definitely not interested in sleeping with him. Kigo's Grillby was still alive, and Lust in no way saw Kigo capable of cheating. He glanced back up at Kigo, only to make eye contact. Kigo looked a little startled, but very aware of the situation. At the very least, he didn't look uncomfortable. He flashed Lust a small smile.
Good morning. Feeling better?
Lust couldn't stop the laugh that tumbled out of him.
Yeah, I slept great. How's the floor?
Kigo hummed and stretched, loudly popping his spine with a satisfied little gasp.
Sorry. It felt a bit like a Roomba, but otherwise fine. Any chance our next impromptu sleepover can take place on the bed or the couch?
Lust felt genuine relief flush through him, and he smiled, glad Kigo didn't seem freaked out about it.
Sure. Next.
Kigo smiled back and shrugged.
Movie night, stuff like that, or if you wanted to talk again, I'm down.
He snickered softly, still a little disbelieving.
You are down for cuddles with a very dramatic skeleton?
He scuffed.
I am always down. You're not dramatic, stop being mean to yourself.
Lust blushed and looked away.
My bad.
He snickered.
Come on, I'm sure Jupiter started on breakfast.
Kigo stretched his legs with a little strained noise that sounded an awful lot like a cat, and got up before offering Lust a hand. Lust took it, but hesitated at the door.
Mars might think
He blushed and stared at the floor. Kigo tilted his head.
Why?
Lust cleared his throat.
Because we're kind of, fuck buddies.
He kept his gaze firmly away for a moment before chancing a glance at Kiego's expression. Somehow, he wasn't surprised Kiego had an ounce of shock in his face. Did this bastard just know everything?
Oh, I didn't realize it was like that, but I could tell something was going on between you two.
Lust blinked, finally facing him.
How?
Kigo smiled and looked up to the right, tapping his fingers together.
It was when you found out about my tail. And the hole, I suppose. I don't remember if you were already asleep or not, but he had his hand on the back of your neck, and it's just something I remember doing to Groby.
You were too perceptive for your own good. I hope you know that.
Kigo snickered.
I've been told.
There was a storm coming in. You could smell it.
The Hamilton reference. There's trouble in the air. You can smell it. My bad.
Wait, how do you pronounce this word? Shit, wait.
Petrichor.
Petrichor, okay. Petrichor was a pleasant scent to you, but you took it for the warning it was, texting your brother that you were on your way to sit with him and wait it out. He was a grown monster, but that didn't mean he wasn't allowed to be afraid or want you with him. Lust had stuck around in the morning, eating breakfast with you, Mars, and Jupiter. Lust was a little quieter than usual, and before he left, you noticed him quietly talking to Mars about something, just out of earshot. You watched for a moment, then looked away when Mars leaned forward and cupped the side of Lust's throat and jaw in a way that seemed too intimate for you to spectate. You busied yourself with helping Jupiter clean up, and once you were done, Lust was hugging you goodbye and pressing a little skeleton kiss to your cheek before slipping out. You smiled, deciding to curl in the corner of the couch to watch some NCIS with Mars, who immediately is that supposed to say what?
No, sidled.
Sidled. Ah, okay. Words. Who immediately sidled up next to you. You allowed your tail to wrap delicately around Mars's ankle, and Mars gently pet it in response before nabbing the remote from the little end table behind you. He kept his arm wrapped around your shoulders as he put on the next episode, dropping the remote back on the table and relaxing with you leaning into his side. At some point, you fell asleep with your head resting on his collar. You woke up to the sound of soft purring and the gentle pressure of a hand resting over your eye and cheekbones. You smiled slightly before stirring, yawning and stretching your legs out as the purr behind you got a little louder, then quieted a bit.
Morning snack.
He snickered softly.
Doubt it's morning, big guy. How long was I out?
Mars hummed, dragging his hand off your face and over the top of your skull.
Yes, an hour or so. Feeling okay?
You nodded a little, fighting another yawn.
I'm fine. A little sleepy. I need to check on Apollo soon. It's gonna rain.
Mars smiled, nudging you.
Go ahead. It's gonna storm, so that's probably a good idea.
Yeah.
You stretched again, and you couldn't stop the strained, whining yawn that poured from your chest before you forced yourself to get up, immediately missing Mars' warmth, but knowing you needed to check on Malvery and Helvetica as well.
I'll be back in the morning, most likely.
Mars hummed.
Okay. Text if you need, Key.
You smiled and slipped your tail back into your pants before disappearing into the void. The cold comfort enveloped you like a soft blanket in the chill of a hospital. You didn't remember why you knew what that felt like, but it was equally oddly pleasant as it was nostalgic. You took a deep breath and reappeared in the living room. Ed was strewn out on the couch, his head resting on Desi's leg, and his legs laid over Red's lap. You weren't sure if he was asleep or not, so you stuck to being quiet while you took in the rest of the room, noticing Classic in the love seat and Stretch folded on the other couch, reading. You smiled and waved silently, your mood boosting a little when both Red and Desi seemed genuinely happy and relieved, respectively, to see you. You made your way upstairs to Apollo's room, knocking on the door while tapping your foot on the door. Apollo didn't make you wait long, opening the door and grinning down at you. Brother! Thank you! You shrugged him off. Jay.
Of course. I keep saying. I'm not gonna. No, I'm kidding. I'm not gonna leave you alone if you want me with you.
Apollo softened, smile going gentle before he gestured you to come inside the room. Thank you, Key. You hummed, sitting on the floor of the bed and gently refusing eye contact.
Don't thank me, Starlight. My whole job is to be here for you.
Apollo rolled his eyes and plopped next to you, hugging you tight against his side. You have much more purpose. Okay, look, in my defense! Look, in my defense, earlier today I was watching someone play a game and they read purpose as porpoise. Please!
I think we have a lot of porpoise in the chat.
So I keep reading the chat. That's why I got Alright, shut up. Keep going.
Okay, anyways.
Let's step out some kinks for Mars.
Anyways.
Sobbing.
You have much more purpose than just that, Sans. You smiled softly.
I know, but you're always going to be the most important.
Apollo huffed softly, but didn't let go. So, when is the storm starting? You mentally celebrated the change of subject and slipped your phone out. Sorry, give me a minute.
No, you don't get a minute.
No.
Read.
Read or die.
Read or die, yeah.
Read or die.
Read or die, but read or die.
Read or die. No, I don't want to become your
Read or
dad
die
early.
Died.
One of the other fics.
Okay. You mentally celebrated the change of subject and slipped your phone out of your pocket to check the weather app.
It says that it'll hit in about 15. We should wait for a bit, then go check on Mal and Vet.
Apollo nodded. Sounds good to me. You smiled.
I can bring you again if you want.
He huffed again. You preened them literally yesterday, Kigo.
And?
He let you preen his wings again. It felt nice to be useful and have something to do with your hands. Also, Apollo's feathers were soft, so it was a win in terms of texture. It took 20 minutes for the first roll of thunder to sound in the distance. You sat up, gently running your fingers through the soft gold sparkles painted across the back of his wings, before stretching and slipping your legs off the bed to get up. Apollo, who had twisted to the side and laid on his stomach to let you have better access, resting his cheek on his folded arms. He hummed softly, stretching his wings out before desummoning them. Apollo was always sleeping quiet after preening, which was a big part of why you did it, figuring that he would be too relaxed to really freak out at the weather. Apollo sat up, wincing and cracking his spine to readjust from the odd position. You pressed a skeleton kiss to his temple, having to fight off cuteness aggression at the sight of the sleepy smile you got for it. He yawned and bumped his forehead against yours before getting up. Thank you, Key. We should check on Vet and Mal now, though. You smiled and nodded.
Of course, Starlight.
The walk to Helvetica's room was short. You knocked lightly on the door and were surprised to see it open quickly.
I'm very busy. Oh.
Helvetica blinked, his scowl immediately dropping into something soft when he noticed you.
Hello, Kigo.
He glanced up at your brother as he said his name.
Apollo. Can I help you?
You smiled a little.
Just wanted to check on you and Mal.
Vet's blinked.
Oh.
Lavender blushed through on his cheekbones.
That's very kind of you. We're all right.
You raised a brow.
Thank you.
Helvetica suddenly looked and sounded far out of place, a surprising unguarded expression of uncertainty crossing his features.
No, Vet, I mean, are you sure?
Vet paused and relaxed a little.
Oh, I apologize. The sound, does bring poor memories, I guess. I don't know where that came from.
He thought for a moment.
Would you get in trouble if you didn't use proper manners with certain monsters?
Helvetica blinked.
Yes. Yes, I would have.
He nodded a little.
And the noises from the storm are bringing back bad memories?
He frowned a little.
Yes. Do you think it maybe put you back in that mindset for a moment and you felt like you would get in trouble?
Apollo stared from your side, but stayed silent. Helvetica stared at you as well, but it was more bafflement. Then he paused and looked at you with a dash of genuine amazement.
Yes. How in the devil did you guess that?
You blushed.
I don't know.
He just stared for a moment.
Okay. Maybe I'm not as magnificent as I thought.
You snickered.
Do you want us to sit with you?
Helvetica hesitated, but nodded.
Yes. Please.
You smiled.
Okay.
He let you both in while Apollo sent a text to Malvery to let him know you were having a little therapy party. The three of you sat on the floor, Helvetica taking his laptop from his desk and continuing his work with the computer on his lap next to you. It was quiet despite the thunder, and mostly calm despite his occasional shiver. The three of you sat like that, with you quietly telling Apollo and Helvetica, if he was listening, the stories of Hercules. The piece lasted about 5 minutes, until Malvery appeared behind Vet and plopped him next to him, dropping a hand on Vet's shoulder. His brother let out the most high-pitched shriek you have ever heard from a skeleton other than yourself. Malvery erupted into laughter, wheezing at his brother's misfortune, while Helvetica struggled to catch his breath after the scare.
Don't do that shit!
The scandalized expression on Vet's face only spurred Mal on, laughing hard enough that he ended up coughing. Helvetica glared hard, but had no real heat behind it.
You're gonna choke yourself again.
You didn't have to ask what Helvetica meant by that, with how Malvery's laughter turned a little panicked, and you realized he wasn't wheezing anymore, but hyperventilating. Vet rolled his eyes affectionately, twisting around and scooting towards Malvery to pat his back.
Alright, stop being dramatic.
He snickered.
You're fine.
Mal gasped for a couple of seconds as he regained his breath, before giggling helplessly.
You scream so high.
Helvetica immediately deadpanned and shoved Malvery onto his side, where he continued to snicker.
Get out, mongrel.
Malvery sighed and smiled.
No.
Helvetica scoffed, but you could really see him hiding a smile.
Whatever.
You and Apollo tried your best to hold in your laughs, but you couldn't help but smirk. Helvetica side-eyed you.
Of course you would find this amusing, you little devil.
You talked a little, grinning. Apollo shook his head in a false disappointment.
I'm sorry, your accent went from American to British to German to Russian.
No,
Polish.
it's fucking Polish!
It's Mieva.
Yes!
Mieva Tontina.
It's a Polish! Yeah, that reminds me of my absent father, Meva. We've been visiting for a while.
This happens occasionally!
Giggling.
You're so close. Come on.
Sorry.
Alright, continuing. You and Apollo tried your best to hold in your laughs, but you could help a smirk. Helvetica side-eyed you.
Of course you would find this amusing, you little devil.
You choked a little, grinning. Apollo shook his head and I can't whenever you like make a little every time it makes me laugh. Please.
You're talking Polish.
I just hear the little smirk and I'm like, please.
Pick a place.
Alright, anyways.
They'll never know where Void Dead first came up if they ever say.
He choked a little, grinning. Apollo shook his head in false disappointment. You nudged him.
Fuck off.
The loudest crack of thunder you ever heard shook the house and ground. Helvetica and Mallory froze hard, and hands shooting out to grab each other. Apollo immediately gripped your upper arm and stared hard at you, silently calculating if this was something he should be scared of. Okay, I need to close the fucking reading chat. Oh my god!
You're not allowed. You got.
Anyways. Silent. You flashed him a comforting smile. Then the power went out.
This is why I acted seriously. I'm sorry.
We were so close. We were so close.
I can't fucking believe that I randomly just broke out into fucking an accent in the middle of it.
You didn't randomly break out. You slowly slid into it, and I was gonna say something when you finished the chapter, except you failed to finish the chapter.
Sorry, guys.
Chapter.
Yeah. Anyways, this is exactly the reason why I minimize
Jay, you get your
Discord
voice privileges
and
revoked.
don't look
Mute.
at chat.
Everyone mute except for Boyd.
I wasn't paying attention to the chat for like a hot minute, but
because
I saw movement. I saw movement, so I had to go like.
We need to finish it.
Huh?
We need to finish.
Alright,
Okay.
sorry.
We did.
Everyone mute except for Boyd.
We
already
just
finished
We just finished the chapter.
Did we?
Yeah.
I missed that. Well,
But yeah.
yay.
We failed to finish the chapter, as in we started talking about the accent before the chapter was finished.
I could not tell. I apologize.
No,
I'm
because I
sorry,
think
I
it
didn't-
really did slowly go from
Boyd
like
literally
this
just went to Polish.
normal one, slowly into British, and then slowly
And
into
then
Polish.
slowly into
Give us
Polish.
British.
Yeah.
No, you Faye, British.
We need to take away Boyd's accent passport. I don't have a passport.
Faye, Faye. That's a
I
Faye.
can't pick a place. That's crazy.
That is
Apparently you do.
No one can tell
Oh,
Boyd
wait,
to go
wait,
back
wait,
to where they
guys.
came
Let's-
from because they
let's-
came from
Let's
everywhere.
try to finish before Luna dies.
Made a
I'll
passport.
access.
We got half an hour and 2 chapters. I don't think that's happening.
We take one chapter.
We can do one more chapter plus.
Yeah.
Then I can leave for a bit.
Yeah, we can replace Luna.
We can replace Luna as
Damn.
crazy.
That's insane. Who would I be replaced with? Is the question. You'll never find another lady like me.
I could probably.
It's okay, I'll do us.
I could replace Luna.
Damn!
I would say replace, but I would say.
You wanna hear my
Boyd and me could easily
No,
switch
I want
places
to
and people would not do it.
Luna.
Do you want
Today on Who Can Replace Who?
Okay, so
Show the impressions. Show me
who's
my
narrating the next-
alternate.
You'll narrate? Okay.
Yeah.
Here, show me your impression.
For less.
No.
Snickered softly.
Damn, I guess I do snicker softly.
You snickered softly at the irony, because of course the power would go out while you're trying to comfort 3 terrified
I
skeletons.
need to go right back real quick.
The power just went out. It's alright. Shut up! The power just went out. It's alright. Apollo paused, staring into space for a moment as if he was struggling to remember something. You frowned. Perhaps? The one time Void doesn't need to be muted.
Void, please.
Why
Get
did
the
everyone die?
anti-void. Reverse!
Void, come back!
Reverse! We need you to take over.
Wait, did
Reverse.
Void just did?
Anti-void. Anti-void.
Void isn't
Anti-void.
here.
Sorry, I was messaging in the chat.
When did Void leave?
Go take over.
Apparently 2 seconds ago, I guess.
No, Void's in the call.
They ate Void.
We have the anti-void to fix this.
Oh, never mind. I was scrolled too far down.
Thank you.
We'll make them
No, Void
British
is
guys.
here.
it's
Void
fine.
just muted
Okay.
themselves.
Yes. We'll turn the papyrus as British. Go ahead.
Yep, I shut the power off during the fire rescue.
I shut the power off during the fire, didn't I?
He didn't move. Hell, you couldn't even see him breathing. Your brow furrowed a little, unable to stop yourself from flicking a cautious glance to Helvetica and Malvery, who were equally freaked out and confused. You did. He held shaky, unsettled eye contact.
Did it help you?
You stared at him, scanning his expression. Apollo looked achingly young for a moment. You reached out and gently held his hand. Yeah, Pap, the cell was still locked. I wouldn't have been able to get out if you hadn't. Apollo's gaze fell to the floor, sockets wide yet unseeing, his brows pinched.
But it didn't save you.
You tensed. Apollo was clearly having a moment, and you were incredibly concerned because you'd never seen him like this before. But Helvetica and Malvery were still right next to you and absolutely could not know that you and Apollo were dead. You made it possible for me to save myself, Starlight. Can you look at me? Apollo didn't move for a moment before finally lifting his head to look at you. You smiled a little to reassure him. Hey, can you tell me 5 things you can see? Apollo blinked, then shook his head as if to reset himself.
I'm fine. I don't know what that was, but I'm alright.
You hesitated, but after searching his face without finding a lie and Apollo sending reassuring waves through the bond, you reluctantly let it go. Leaning forward to tap a skeleton's kiss to his forehead, you used his shoulder to lever yourself up to your feet. Okay, I trust you. You turned to Helvetica and Mal, offering them a hand up off the floor. Come on, let's go see if we can fix it by flipping the breaker, or if Classic happens to have a backup generator, which it's Louisiana, so he should. Helvetica hesitated, but took your hand. He and Malvery glanced between you and Apollo before making eye contact with each other, both of your expressions displaying varying levels of dismay, confusion, and concern. You blushed a little, but ignored it, helping up Apollo, who helped up Malvery. You led them downstairs, looking for any of the skeletons that may have been in this universe the longest, or would have any electrical knowledge. Electrical knowledge. Though it was pitch black, most monsters had at least a bit of night vision. So you were fine despite your depth perception being thrown to shit. Void, please.
Sorry.
Apollo had to catch you from falling down the stairs twice. Helvetica looked close to actually losing his shit both times you tripped, and Malvery teleported in front of you after the second. You snickered as the 4 of you made it to the ground floor landing. I survived this much, guys. If I die by falling down the stairs like a dumbass, I deserve it. 2 pairs of white, 1 pair of blue, and a singular red light appeared across the room. You couldn't see the details of the 4 figures because of the lack of light and how far away they were, but from their eyes you knew Mars and Blue were there for sure, meaning one of the white pairs was most likely Jupiter.
Please do not say you deserve to die, Key. I believe most of us would quite like you alive.
Jupiter, for sure. At least you guessed right. My bad. You chuckled. So, what are we doing about the power? Also, hey, Mars and Jupiter and Blue.
And Pyrus! Though I cannot blame you for not being able to tell after I watched you nearly fall down the stairs twice.
He ignored your mock offended hey and moved on to answering your question.
Red Edge Sands, Classic, sorry, and Stretch are in the basement. I believe Red is attempting to fix the breaker, while Classic and Stretch attempt to hook up back the generator.
You nodded, assuming Edge went down to stay near his brother. Got it. Apollo blinked.
Can we go down and see?
You raised a brow. I mean, sure. Why? He shrugged a little.
I just want to see it. The breaker is similar.
Sorry.
Yeah, I know. I'm like reading over it. I'm like, huh. Anyways, I just want to see it. The breaker is the same as the labs.
You didn't really understand why he wanted to know that, but you figured if Apollo felt like it would help, it couldn't hurt. Okay, I'll walk with you.
You're going to walk right beside me so I can grab you when you fall.
You could have at least said if I fall. You pouted.
That's third time's the charm, brother.
You gave Blue, Mars, and Bet playfully exasperated looks. You sighed, shaking your head in mock disappointment, but allowed it, letting him keep a firm hand on your shoulder while you both walked down the steps of the basement. If it would have been even darker down here, if not for Edge holding up his phone light for Red to see into the breaker, and Stretch holding a handheld flashlight in his teeth for himself in Classic. Apollo snickered, walking over to Stretch with a surprising amount of confidence, and nudged him before holding out his hand. Huh, he hadn't realized they were friends. Stretch jumped a little, blushing and clearing his throat before pausing his work to take the flashlight out of his mouth and drop it into Apollo's hand. Apollo snickered in a way you definitely taught him, but held the flashlight straight for both of them. Huh, so flirty friends. Good for you, Paps. The overhead lights flickered for a moment, Red letting out a "fuck yeah" before leaning back into the box to fiddle with something. Something told you that was a bad thing, call it a gut feeling you don't have, and you stiffened. Wait, Red, maybe don't. A burst of light and a bulb above your head popped, raining glass over your skull. You immediately got out of the way, looking to Red to make sure he was alright. You only had the time to see Edge struggle and fail to keep Red upright, simply slowing his brother's descent to the concrete floor with a soft thump. You stared silently, unsure of what the hell just happened, but relaxed when Edge rolled his eyes and lightly nudged Red in the ribs with his boot.
You fucking idiot!
Classic leaned over to see.
What happened?
He paused and started snickering the second he saw Red on the floor.
Oh, he knew better than that.
Edge groaned.
Yes, he did, dumbass.
Stretch walked over and started laughing the second he saw Red on the ground.
Oh, what the hell?
You and your brother made very confused eye contact.
What happened?
You shrugged, looking to the other skeletons. Edge raised a brow.
He got shocked.
You blinked. Hard enough to pass out? What the fuck was the voltage on that thing? Edge and Classic's brow furrowed a little.
No, kid, he was...
Stretch cleared his throat.
Wait, is that Stretch or
Other
Classic?
void that's
Stretch!
Okay.
Monsters are very sensitive to electricity. A tiny shock can hurt a little. A shock like that, or one from a taser, wouldn't necessarily hurt, but it will knock the hell out. I'm guessing neither of you have experienced that.
You blinked, then grinned. Wait, are you serious? That's fucking hilarious. Taser. This was foreshadowing. Edge shook his head and mocked disapproval.
We can't point out things from this chapter because this is this is the podcast of. This is basically a podcast.
I can say it's foreshadowing.
No, you can say what causes it. Yeah, the VC chat is the cause. They can't read. They can't see the VC chat.
Alright, come on.
Shoot me.
We're in the middle of reading. Please.
You get one hell of a hangover, but it's not all that bad. Red's having the nap of a lifetime right now.
You snickered, and Apollo swatted at your upper arm.
Shut up, Sans!
He turned to Stretch.
We were unaware, yes.
Classic seemed to snap out of his confusion pretty quick.
A real shocking revelation.
Stretch snickered and Edge groaned. Apollo glared at you as if you said it. You laughed, waving your hands. What the hell? I did nothing.
With your infinite knowledge of shit you shouldn't know, you should have been able to tell me about the electricity thing so I could have avoided that pun.
I didn't know.
don't care.
Edge cleared his throat.
Apollo, will you help me carry my idiot brother upstairs, please?
Apollo stopped mid-breath to continue berating you, instead flashing a smile at Edge.
Of course.
Oh. You glance between them. Oh, he had it bad. Good for you, Apollo. Stretch and Classic got back to work on the generator, Stretch with the flashlight in his mouth again. You snickered as you watched Edge and Apollo carefully meander Red back upstairs, conveniently forgetting your ability to teleport Red directly to his room before teleporting yourself back into the living room to sit with Mars. Mars jumped when you appeared at his side, which wasn't intentional, but good karma. You stuck your tongue out at him and let out a higher-pitched startled noise when Mars nipped at you playfully.
Carol Cheshire.
Why are we giggling? I'm sorry.
Still laughing at.
Sorry,
I'm
like the most serious person ever. Please, I'll start snickering at some of the random ass shit. Please.
All the foreshadowing in this chapter was so good. You stuck your tongue out at him, but let out a higher-pitched startled... Oh, my bad, I already read that. You shot him a playful glare before actually paying attention to what the others were talking about. You could just barely see Jupiter's form curled under Mars's arm on the other side, and you could see Malvery's sock-covered feet resting on Helvetica's lap and the silhouette of the rest of his form laid back across the couch. Blue and Helvetica switched between snickering... From snickering about what the hell happened to Red to a conversation about their jobs. You assume they were already talking about them before you came upstairs with how fast the switch was. Blue was talking about working with kids, and Helvetica talking about how different the Queen was in his universe compared to his home. Blue paused and blinked. Pierre.
Snake.
Pierre.
Snake. My careless whisper, it's yours. You're blue,
Oh,
correct?
muted. I'm so sorry. Oh, I gotta figure out where it is.
I can send it to you.
If you look on stream too, I also have the text there.
Is it the... Okay.
Wait, really? Yep.
Yeah. Wait, really? Well, personality-wise, I wouldn't say she's all that different, but she... English, please? But is she, mean?
Helvetica hesitated. Yes, cruel, but Queen Toriel is much different here. I do mourn for her. Blue paused.
Oh, right. In this universe, she lost children, she didn't kill them.
Helvetica nodded. 8, I believe. She's been finding comfort in teaching at the school and raising Frisk, but I fear she lacks closure. Blue hummed.
Does she have anything to remember them by?
He shrugged a little. She has a few photos and an item or two from each, but other than that, not particularly. You hesitated, but figured it couldn't hurt. Do you think she'd appreciate a painting? Helvetica paused. Yes. I'm not a painter, though, or know any, though. I suppose I could find an artist to commission. Blue nudged him.
Vet, Kiko is a painter. An incredible one.
Helvetica's eyes snapped to you, surprise written across his features. Wait, seriously? Why haven't you mentioned it? You blushed a little. You took me to the store to get paint and shit. Vet, I assumed you guessed. Helvetica stared for a moment before lavender blush slowly lit his skull. I must have been distracted or something. I apologize. I remember now. You snickered. You don't need to apologize. Vet, you barely caught yourself with your smile sparkling with adrenaline for a moment as you saw him raise a brow. You looked away. It's not a big deal. Helvetica tilted his head. Being an artist is an incredible thing, Kigo. I would love to see your work if you'd allow me. Sure. You were blushing like a bitch and you knew it. You weren't sure why you felt shy about art now. Maybe it was because Blue hyped up your art immediately. Maybe it was because you've been drawing Vet a lot recently, because you just got the prettiest purple paint and it matched his magic perfectly. But either way, you were very flustered, bastards. You glance at Mars before disappearing into the void, nabbing your sketchbook from your room and reappearing on the couch. Blue mixed media spiral sketchbook in hand, you figured you should paint the color eventually. You hesitated but handed it over. I mainly draw people, so don't be surprised when you see yourself or any of the others. Helvetica blinked, carefully taking the book in his hands as if it were glass or some other precious thing. You've drawn me. You felt your face get hotter, but you were honest. And painted. Helvetica stared at you for a moment, analyzing, before he smiled a little and opened the sketchbook. The first page was empty for obvious reasons, but after that, every page was filled with drawings, paintings, and doodles of yourself, your brother, Groby, and anything that caught your eye, like skeletons. Helvetica was silent for most of it, Blue leaning over Vet's shoulder to see the pages as well. Blue was especially delighted by a page dedicated to colored sketches of him and his motorcycle, and Helvetica softened when he found a candid doodle of Malbury. You were just glad they didn't think you were a stalker or something. Helvetica studied a painting of Red for a hot minute, and it took you a while to realize he was looking at the detail on the fur of his jacket. You silently look at him, searching for an answer or context. He noticed your gaze and hummed softly. Your texture work is very good. Toriel and her past son both have a lot of fur. Oh, you kind of forgot him wanting to commission a painting for the Queen. So he was making sure you were good enough at painting hair? Cool. He continued to flip through with Blue, who occasionally snickered at a funny doodle or awed at a drawing of himself. Helvetica paused when he found the first sketch of himself, his lights going just a little fuzzy before he flashed a small, real smile and continued on. He went just as soft for every painting of his brother and blushed when he found one of himself in full guard uniform. Blue nudged him a little with a raised eyebrow, and Helvetica shot him the most criminally offensive side eye. You don't think people said that anymore. Honestly, you had no idea what the hell bombastic means, but it was funny as shit to say. You genuinely couldn't tell if that was glaring or not, but you moved on quick enough to not soon having flipped through the entire sketchbook. He did hit you with a side eye of your own when he found a drawing of him with a certain duck beforehand, though, which he snickered at. You took the book and smiled at him. Your work is very impressive, Kigo. Would you be interested in painting something for the Queen? Or King, I suppose? It would be on a much larger scale, though. Is that something you're okay with? And you were blushing again, but you quickly sat straight and nodded. Okay, Kigo, be professional. I'm good with painting on a large scale, but I prefer matte boards or mixed media paper to canvas. The texture doesn't work with my style that well. I would be interested, yes, because I need a job. You snickered a little. Helvetica smiled. Wonderful. Perhaps instead of me commissioning you as a gift to her, I could set up a meeting between the two of you and we could see about you working for her full time. You blanched. Wait, seriously? That'd be incredible. He blushed a little. Well, you said you were looking for a job, yes? You couldn't help but grin. Stars, Vet was such a tsundere, wasn't he? Yes. Thank you, Vet. You mean hi? Why is my boyfriend here? Go away.
Hi! Welcome, boyfriend.
I'm reading.
Yeah, what? I thought we were watching. I thought we were listening to some reading. Hello.
Hello. Listening? No, we are reading. We are the ones who are reading.
We are. Baby girl.
I was listening. I was in.
Yeah. Okay, I'll lock in. Of course, I'm voicing two characters having a conversation.
Talk to yourself. Go put
No, now
in the
I'm
Go, Jay.
Go in the
And
room.
talk
Go
to
ahead.
yourself. That is your mission for today.
Send me my lines.
You're not here yet.
What?
I don't know. I think it'd be really funny if he had lines.
Okay, you see
Make
everything
him
that's in all
Sparks.
caps.
Can we make him Sparks?
Oh wait, no, Caden can be Sparks. Okay, Caden can be Sparks.
I'm in a comp game. So like,
You're
Oh no, that's not in
You
this
have a
chapter.
job?
That's not here.
Sobbing.
That's not here. You don't need to do it now. Okay, you guys all be.
Sorry.
You have a job. He blushed a little harder, looking away. Of course. The Queen has an open meeting slot at noon tomorrow. Would that work for you? And may I take pictures of some of your work to show her? Works just fine, and go ahead. You looked outside and saw it was pitch black as Helvetica snapped a few photos on his phone. Oh, hey, what time is it? You pulled out your phone, tucking your sketchbook under your arm while you tapped on the screen. You hummed at the bright 11:43 p.m. as it flashed across your screen, almost before going dark again. Never mind, it's almost 12. Helvetica choked. It's midnight. I have work at 6. Shit. He shot off the couch, patting his brother to let him know he was up before turning to you and handing your sketchbook back. I will pick you up at 11:30 sharp. Thank you. Good night. You took it, blinked, and he was gone, leaving the faint smell of lavender and frost behind. You turned to Blue with a mildly confused expression, to which he shrugged.
No.
Pierre, this is you.
I gotta find it.
Oh.
What are we doing?
Where are we?
Somebody
Here,
forgot.
look, I'll just copy and paste it.
I sent it to you. I sent it to you.
That's a bannable offense.
Oh, it's freaking Blue. I should get some sleep as well. Good night, Hugo.
You smiled and waved. Night, before turning to Mars. You ready? It wasn't until after you asked that you noticed Mars had somehow fallen asleep despite the noise. You snickered and reached out, gently nudging him. He yawned, opening the socket with his sleepily working eye light to scan your face. He hummed softly in question. You smiled. We're in the mansion, bud. Jupiter is too tall for this couch. You figured calling out that his brother may be uncomfortable rather than Mars would give him incentive to bring himself and his brother back to the cabin, and you were correct. He hummed again, shifting to hold Jupiter tighter to his chest for the jump.
You have enough magic, or do you need a ride?
You smiled. I'm good. Just get him in bed, and you. You are too tall for this couch. Mars huffed a tired laugh and nodded.
Just come over to check on you. Saw the man's tower go out.
You blushed a little and smiled. You're the sweetest, Mars. I'm just fine. Make sure I wake up tomorrow, yeah? He snickered.
Sure, Schrodinger.
You thanked the stars the power was out, and Mars didn't see the way you stilled. Schrodinger's cat was the idea in quantum physics that tiny particles can be in two states at once until they are observed. It asks you to imagine a cat in a box with a mechanism that might kill it, and so you look inside, the cat is both alive and dead at the same time. For a moment, a long, terrifying moment, you thought Mars knew. How he would have guessed that you were dead, you had no idea, but it took you a solid 5 seconds to realize he was referring to your tail. He was just calling you a cat again. That was all. Chill out, Key. You smiled and snickered. Yeah, good night, Aries. He hummed softly.
Night tails.
You rolled your eyes as he disappeared, but quickly followed after tossing a throw blanket over Mallory's form. You collapsed on your bed and sighed pleasantly, finally resting easy from the cabin. Motherfucker. Finding rest easy from the calm and happy waves slowly surrounding you from your brother's end of the bond. You woke up early the next morning just fine. This chapter is so fucking long.
Do you want me to take over narration?
Please.
Okay.
Please. My poor soul. Oh, Caden's deafened. Never mind. Okay, that's fine. I literally jump scare. I look to my right and my boyfriend, baby girl, is in the VC. I saw everyone freaking out in the chat and I was like,
I was waiting for you to notice.
I wish I didn't.
It was great.
You woke up early the next morning just fine and enjoyed breakfast with Mars and Jupiter. He'd made waffles, which you hadn't had in literal decades, so your day started off great. Jupiter seemed to be overly giddy about something, but wouldn't elaborate on what, so you didn't push. At least he was happy about something. You watched an episode or two of NCIS with Mars and you waited for 11, but quickly left to change once you saw it was 10:50. Maybe you were a little nervous. Okay, it was technically your first job, no? You got dressed in a pair of nice black slacks and Doc Martens paired with a white button-up so your collar would fold over your sweater.
Buddy!
It was a new one, blue and black, and kind of reminded you of a horror movie, but you couldn't remember which one, and very soft. It was cold as fuck outside, though, so you pulled your black bomber/varsity jacket over it. You brushed your teeth for a full 2 minutes and made sure you looked good. You took a deep breath and teleported to the mansion, electing to wait outside for Helvetica since you knew he drove to work. It was just as cold as you expected it to be, if not colder, so you were grateful for the extra layer your jacket provided, zipping it fully to block out as much cold as possible, waiting not so patiently for Helvetica to arrive. Oh shit, I accidentally messed with my window. Give me a second. There we go. He surprised you by teleporting to the front door behind you instead of pulling up in his Jeep Wrangler. So you waved and called his name before he actually went inside. He startled a little, but smiled. Good morning, or afternoon, Key. Thank you for your punctuation. I don't think is that the right word?
No.
Punctuation? No, I don't think so.
I would phrase that as thank you for being punctual. Rather than
No,
for
that
your
is correct. Thank you for
punctuation.
your
Honestly, it's funny. I'm leaving it.
No, because I think in terms
Fair.
of the punctuation, it can be taken in. It just depends on the context.
You snickered. A meeting with the Queen of Monsters. Hell yeah, I'm gonna be punctual. Helvetica laughed softly before glancing at your outfit. Oh, you dressed nicely, little devil. Come on. I don't wish to keep the Queen waiting. Your meeting starts at 11:45. You nod, trying your best not to blush. Thanks. Let's go, Captain. Helvetica's face immediately flushed, I guess, with purple blush mid-teleport. You reappeared in the castle lobby? You had no idea how actual royalty worked. You were only the king of hell because you were nice and somehow rich. Helvetica rubbed at his face and walked firmly down the hallway with plenty of plants and the occasional mirror, but no other decor on the walls. You fought off a laugh as you caught a glimpse of his face in one of the mirrors, despite his attempt to block his expression from your view. Cutie. You checked your phone to tell your brother you were there, checked the time, 11:40, and put it on Do Not Disturb before pocketing it and joining Helvetica at the door. 2 guards, most definitely and lesser standing than Helvetica, opened the doors for you, and you were greeted to the sight of Asgore watering flowers in his full royal getup. Huh. You hadn't seen him since you bitched him out in hell. It's kind of weird to see him alive. He turned to you and Helvetica and smiled.
Darkling and Asgore.
Wait, who voices Asgore?
Darkling does. I just checked because I was like, wait, shit, who voices Asgore?
Wait, I do.
Yeah, you.
Yep,
voiced-
evidently
I
that.
have it pulled up right now. You voiced Asgore.
Yeah. Apparently,
Yeah,
I
get your
did.
howdy ass in here.
Howdy, Helvetica. You must be Kigo, yes?
Helvetica bowed and you quickly followed suit, the hood of your jacket flopping over the back of your neck and lower skull. Asgore laughed.
Oh, come now, Helvetica. There's no need for that.
You hesitantly rose with Helvetica, looking to him for permission to speak. He nodded almost imperceptibly, but you caught it. Yes, Your Majesty. Asgore laughed again.
Oh, just call me Asgore, please. No need for all the formality, really. Tori, the Queen, will meet you in the courtyard. She got a little held up with helping Frisk with something.
He gestured to the door leading out of the throne room, and you immediately nodded. Helvetica moved to lead you outside when Asgore called out his name.
Helvetica, can I speak with you for a minute?
He hesitated, glancing at you before you offered a nod. I'll be fine, but thank you. He nodded back and stepped closer to the king while you stepped not outside. When the king said it was a courtyard, you were expecting a grassy clearing with tons of buttercups and maybe a little table in the middle for meetings, and you were fully prepared to freeze your ass off again. You were correct about the little table and flowers, but there was no way you could have guessed that their courtyard was a giant greenhouse. You could vaguely remember going to a butterfly enclosure when you were young and human, and this felt very similar. You smiled and took a seat at the table, slipping your coat off and setting it on the bench beside you, since it was considerably warmer in the greenhouse than in the castle and outside. You elect the bird. You elected to keep. No, it's good. I feel like there would be birds in there.
Thematic.
Okay.
Thematic, yeah.
That's all.
You elected to keep the sweater though, mostly because it was comfortable and you felt your outfit was incomplete without it, and you were a bitch for fashion. You looked around silently for a few minutes before Queen Toriel walked through the doors. You weren't sure what you were expecting, but she kind of just... She looked just like you would have imagined. All kinds of eyes and soft smiles, and she looked concerned and delighted at the same time. What?
Oh, hello, my child. Are you lost? I had a meeting, but that can wait.
She crossed the courtyard greenhouse floor in a few quick strides, and suddenly you were being lifted into the air. She continued to fret over you, tilting you this way and that as she held you at least 2 feet off the ground by her 2 large paws under your arms, so you absolutely fucking blue screened.
Where are your parents, dear? I was unaware one of the skeletons had a child. Are you from the new universe? I thought you were all the same ages.
Your first thought, of course, was, I am not that fucking short. Your second was wondering why she thought you were a child in the first place. Until you happened to glimpse at your sleeve. Oh, hey! You remember what your sweater reminded you of? Freddy Cougar! Your sweater was covered in stripes, you fucking idiot. No wonder she thought you were a kid. How the hell did you forget that? You blushed badly. Oh, there's been an understanding, Your Highness. Helvetica opened the door and paused when he saw the absolutely wonderful image of you being held fully off the ground by the Queen of Monsters. Fuck your life, actually. He hesitated, looking highly confused, until he glanced at your sweater. You could see on his face that it took everything in his soul not to laugh at your misery. But at the very least, he didn't. Oh, I believe there's been a misunderstanding, Your Highness. That is Kigo. I had not noticed his clothing until now. Apologies, but apparently children do not wear stripes in his universe. Toriel looked you up and down for a moment.
This is an adult?
Yes, Your Highness.
I've told you to call me Toriel, my child.
Helvetica blushed. Of course, Toriel. My apologies. Yes, Kigo was 23. Toriel blinked at you.
You are small for an adult skeleton, no?
You blushed badly. So I've been told. The situation seemed to catch up with her, and she immediately put you down.
Oh, stars, I do apologize, my dear.
You rubbed the magic from your cheekbones. Don't worry about it. You're, Toriel. She smiled.
Well, you catch on fast. You're the painter, then.
You nodded, and she continued.
Perfect. Helvetica told me about you all about you this morning. The pictures you showed me of your portraits are just incredible, dear. You're looking for a full-time position.
You blushed a little at the thought of Helvetica talking you up to the fucking queen, but nodded. Anything you have to offer, Toriel, I'll be of the utmost appreciation. She blushed and waved her hand at you.
Oh, you little charmer.
You didn't get that part, actually, but you take it.
Would love to have an official royal painter or royal portrait artist.
She smiled kindly at you.
It has a nice ring to it, doesn't it?
You can't help but grin. It does.
How does, say, 25,000 per painting sound?
You choked. Like a fever dream, in the best way possible. She patted your head.
Then it is settled, my child. I'll have supplies sent to your studio and will send my commission request through the electronic mail or through Captain Helvetica here. Thank you so much, dear.
You blanched. Oh, thank you. Truly. I can't wait to start. She reached over the table to hug you before promptly walking out. You paused for a moment, completely shell-shocked before turning to Helvetica. What the fuck just happened? Helvetica smiled and shrugged. You got the job, dear. You laughed, an ounce of mania coasting at the end of it. That's it? You didn't see it, but he softened just a little. That's it. Good job, little devil. You laughed again, slipping your jacket back on as he led you outside the castle via the door opposite to the one leading to the throne room. You hadn't even noticed it behind the flowers. That was terrifying. Helvetica burst into laughter. I wasn't expecting her to pick you up, or for you to wear stripes. My and her two vaguely similar, though. She already knew she was going to hire you. She just wanted to meet you first. You smiled and flapped your hands at your side to shake off some adrenaline. Okay. Oh, I don't have a studio. Helvetica hummed. I'm sure we can rent one out for you, or you can use the other guest room in the cabin if you don't wish to use your bedroom. You quickly shake your head. No, I definitely want to use my own room. That's fine. I'll just make sure everything is shipped to you, then it'll say Kigo on it, don't worry. You nodded and smiled before you were promptly tackled by approximately 29 pounds of your little brother. Yeah, Babs! He grinned and hugged you tighter.
You are very smiley, so I'm assuming you got the job?
You laughed and patted his back. Yes, Paps, I got the job. You glanced at Helvetica, who smiled a little too knowingly before you noticed Blue, Mars, and Jupiter standing off to the side. Oh, they came to see you? Do not cry. Do not cry, you emotional bitch. You grinned and hugged your brother tight before shoving him off of you. He snickered but moved.
We are taking you out for lunch. You have no choice. Helvetica even called off work for the rest of the day to come with.
You immediately raised an eyebrow at Helvetica, who blushed and looked away. Shut up and get in the Jeep. You saluted him, which got you a laugh from Blue and a deadpan from Vet, before you followed the group to Helvetica's Jeep parked outside the castle. The 6 of you hopped inside. There were only 5 seats, but the restaurant was apparently only 5 minutes away, so Blue elected to teleport early and snag a table. Helvetica surprised you when he pulled up to the Chili's of all places. But you weren't going to complain. You quoted a specific vine, which got you the glorious reactions of Mars getting it and chuckling, and literally no one else understanding, welcome to Chili's, what the fuck you were saying. Confusing people would always be your favorite hobby. Blue had succeeded in snagging said table, so you filtered in, your brother taking the seat next to you, as always. As you slipped your jacket off to account for the warmth of the building, it didn't take long for the waitress, a young bunny monster, to come and give you your menus. This was Apollo's, and technically yours, first time in a human restaurant, if you didn't count the afterlife, but both of you knew how it worked fine, no surprises there. Oh, one little surprise, actually, as the waiter placed a children's menu and a 4-set box of cheap crayons in front of you. You blushed. Oh, I just wore the wrong shirt. I'm an adult. Apollo caught on immediately. You knew for a fact the waitress couldn't, but you could see and literally feel the mischievousness radiating off of your brother. The bastard plastered his best, most okay, sweetie, smile to his face.
Sure you are, buddy.
Before shooting a fucking wink at the server. She laughed politely and humored it. Oh, I'm very sure. I'll be right back with your drink. The skeleton stared at you for a moment after she left as you silently groveled in never living this down, am I? Land until Helvetica and Apollo burst out laughing. The rest of the group followed suit as you thunked your head against the wood of the table and groaned loudly in defeat. Damn you, Freddy Krueger. I forgot it was this chapter. And I love how I skipped narrating last chapter because I was like, oh yeah, Helvetica and Kigo have a long ass conversation, and then they literally only talk to each other the entirety of this chapter.
Yeah. So silly goofy is all. They're silly eye goofy. They're silly eye goofy. The creatures.
Oh my god, the next chapter's a long one too.
Oh, no.
Not me for real.
Oh
How
yeah.
many chapters do we do usually again? Like 5?
4.
This is the last one.
Ah, okay.
Well, no, it's only 3. Oh no, 33.
No, it's 4.
We've done 3.
4, 35, 36.
started-
Never mind, I can't count. Never mind. Yep.
I could do it.
No,
No.
Pierre, you don't get to. No, absolutely not.
No, unfortunately,
No,
you lost
Pico.
those privileges, Pierre. I'm sorry.
No. What do you
Apparent-
mean? I'm really good narrator.
No, shut up, Pierre. Apparently, I really like this chapter. I remember really liking this chapter. Okay, fire.
I can tell because you said I was like possessed writing this chapter.
Yeah, that's how I know. And also, I'm looking at the name, and I love the song that this chapter is named after. And I only name like my favorite chapters over my favorite songs. So I must have been so hyped for this chapter.
Fair.
Okay. Darkling's turn.
Yep.
No, shut up, Pierre.
Damn,
Uh-huh.
that's crazy.
Yeah, you've lost your narrating privileges.
But I
Oh, no. Lost
How about a
hugged you the moment you and the rest of the group walked through. Oh no, is Luna back yet?
Oh, it's
No,
okay. I
Luna's
can be
not.
less. I'll be less until she gets back.
Okay.
I took a tutorial for her.
Lost hugged you the moment you and the rest of the group walked through the front door.
I heard the good news, sweetheart. I'm so happy for you.
You blushed and grinned.
Thanks, Eros.
He squeezed you gently before letting go to look at you.
You up for hanging out?
He smiled, slipping off your jacket and sweater in one fell swoop to
I'm here to
avoid
take
any
my
more
roll.
stripe incidents.
I did fall down a
sure.
set of stairs.
Oh, there
Sorry.
we go.
I'm here to take my roll. I'm not. I heard lost. No. I am fine, guys.
Lawson came sprinting and falling down.
I did, in fact.
No.
Do we get to finish the chapter?
Yeah, we're on chapter 36.
36?
We just started chapter 36.
Lovely. Okay.
Oh,
You missed
sure.
the stripes
What do you have in
shenanigans.
mind?
what?
Yeah, you missed striped shenanigans.
Miss Toriel.
I have a line.
Oh, my child.
Nope. Come
I
back.
could have been a very good.
He's pulling his cock out. What?
Sobbing?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Here's the thing. Here's a
Luna.
silly, goofy thing, Skittish. You cannot just say, "Oh,
He's pulling his cock out.
oh, I'm so mad. I am
Oh.
getting quoted." Then you say stuff like this.
Oh no, hold on, what are we talking about?
You're getting quoted for this. You're getting quoted.
Somebody just said he's pulling his cock
Pulling his
out.
cock out.
Wow.
It's what-
He's pulling it out.
He's pulling his cock.
Just gonna shut up. You know what you did.
You guys are running out, Bookie.
Anyway.
I came back and then someone took the cock out, and now I'm here.
Yeah. Luna, read your damn line before I jump
I'm
you.
just like, this is my
Love
shit. Oh my
throwing an arm
god.
around your shoulder.
Oh my gosh, sorry. Oh, we're just drawing together, watching TV.
You snickered and leaned into him.
You want to watch a musical?
You know,
Mars raised a brow. You know musicals? Blue grinned and poked you.
No, he didn't. No. Oh, Stretch loves those. I've seen one called Beetlejuice.
You smiled.
I've seen that one.
Helvetica patted your back in passing as he headed to his room, but didn't add to the conversation. You silently wondered if his social battery was low, because yours sure was, but you did want to hang out with Lust and maybe Mars if he was down. Lust smiled and scrunched his nose bridge at you in a way you distinctly remembered doing to Girly while bothering him.
have you seen Heather's?
You nodded immediately.
It was my first, actually.
Apollo perked up at that one.
Oh, Undyne or just Undyne actually made me watch that one.
You nudged him.
You see any others?
He shook his head.
No, but I'm not in the mood to watch anything right now. Go have fun, Jason Dean.
You deadpanned.
Why am I the bomber? I mean, he's hot, sure, but like, why?
Apollo smacked the back of your head lightly.
Lab fire you. And you would find JD attractive.
He rolled his eyes.
You old little gremlin.
You pouted.
I like danger.
He smacked you again, walking off.
I can tell. I need to get you a goddamn life alert.
You winked.
I did not teach him that one. Holy shit.
He snickered.
His vocabulary, it's grown.
Blue laughed and hip checked you.
We didn't. I can tell. No, wrong. Have fun with your musical, Key. I'm gonna go check on Stretch.
You nodded, turning to Mars and Lust.
So, musical?
Lust grinned and dragged both you and Mars into the void, reappearing on the couch in the cottage. Mars snickered and held up a finger. Forgot Jupiter. He was grabbing something out the garage. Hold on. Mars disappeared, leaving you and Lust on the couch alone.
What musical?
Lust hummed, handing you the remote.
Are there any you had in mind?
He pondered for a moment before gasping and opening up YouTube.
Legally Blonde?
Oh, I haven't watched that one.
We'll wait for Mars, but it's so good.
Blue did check on Stretch, letting him know he was back home and that Kiko had gotten the job, but he really wanted to check on Vet. After about an hour at the restaurant, Helvetica got twitchy and quiet. His hands wouldn't stop messing with the table, the silverware, or tugging on his clothes somehow. He kept looking over his shoulder the entire time. Mars had seemed to notice too, shooting Blue a concerned look at the time, but elected to let Blue handle it. Helvetica was in his room, as per usual, when Blue knocked. Vet raised a brow, but let him in.
Can I help you?
Blue shook his head, gently taking Helvetica by the wrist so he couldn't teleport out of the conversation.
Are you alright?
The vet froze.
What?
Blue frowned.
At the restaurant, you were nervous. What's going on? Is there a threat with the royals, or have you not been sleeping well?
He blinked.
I am fine, Blue.
He raised a brow. He corrected his volume, not wanting to broadcast Vet's business across the mansion.
Your hands were shaking all day, you...
Blue watched Helvetica's gaze drop to his still shaking hands, then to a spot on the floor.
Vet?
I'm uncomfortable around thunder. Kigo and Apollo came to check on me last night before the power went out. Apollo had a moment. Apparently, he shut the power off during the fire and kind of lost himself for a while. I realized I did the same thing during that hurricane.
Helvetica stared at the floor the entire time, tones sounding oddly hollow. Blue clenched his jaw. He was not at all expecting Helvetica to actually confide in him, especially not willing. Blue blinked. Kigo's therapist shit was real as hell.
And?
Helvetica swallowed dryly.
I realized I unintentionally put both mine and my brother's lives in Kigo's hands. I don't know if I would have been able to defend or if I would have panicked and attacked. Kigo could have gotten seriously hurt.
Blue stepped closer, placing his hands on Helvetica's shoulders.
I believe Kigo can defend himself fine, Vet. He killed Gaster, didn't he? And survived a whole fire? Plus, he can teleport, Vet. Also, Apollo worked for the Queen directly. He ranked higher than all of us. And I'm sure there was a good reason for it. It would have been fine.
Helvetica continued to stare blankly at the ground.
But then they could have hurt me and my brother.
Blue grimaced.
Kigo and Apollo would never, Vet. I'm sure they've had many opportunities.
He immediately regretted saying that as Helvetica took in a choked gasp, slowly raising his shaking hands to his skull.
I could have gotten us killed so many fucking times, Blue. This universe is making me fucking soft and it's gonna kill us when we go back.
Blue frowned, gently taking Helvetica's hands into his own to prevent Vet accidentally or purposefully hurting himself with his claws.
Vet.
Helvetica's breathing picked up, and he clearly didn't hear or notice Blue in the slightest.
The Queen's going to have me executed for being gone so long. Papyrus will probably suffer the same fate since they've been without a judge.
Felt his soul figuratively drop to his feet.
There's no judge. Fuck! The Queen's fucking insane, Blue. She probably killed everyone.
Blue was genuinely about to freak out for him. Holy shit.
Vet.
You don't understand. We're fucked. I can't do shit to protect Papyrus.
Helvetica.
Blue dragged the smaller skeleton into a firm hug.
You're not going back. They haven't touched the machine since Kigo and Apollo arrived. I think they figured it out, Vet. You don't have to go back. Red and Edge aren't either. Neither are Mars and Jupiter, or less than Desi, or Dust. So many of us are saying, Vet. You don't have to go back. You can be safe here.
It physically pained Blue when he pulled back to see Helvetica's face and was met with unshed tears. Vet gasped softly.
I've only been here for 3 months, and I've become weak because of it. I am terrified.
Blue let one hand slip to Vet's middle back to stabilize him, and his other to rest on Helvetica's cheek.
You are not weak, Helvetica. Please don't say that.
Helvetica dropped his skull to Blue's collarbone, resting his forehead against his clavicle.
You don't understand.
Blue clenched his jaw and tugged Vet closer.
Explain it to me, Vet.
I've grown comfortable in this life, Blue. 3 months. 3 months was all it took. All it took for me to get attached. I will miss this. Red and Edge and Kigo and the others. You.
Blue paused. He hadn't noticed until that moment that the hand on Vet's cheek had shifted to rest on the back of Vet's neck. He also hadn't noticed how easy and right it felt. Oh. Oh. Apollo, sorry.
No, this is the poll chapter. Kigo, no.
Sobbing?
Kaden,
I had to unmute.
I swear to God, I'm not gay and emo. I'm only one of those.
I think you're both.
No.
We consider looking at the older.
Are we coming out of the closet?
Oh my god!
I don't hear shit about you. Okay, literally, you have a side piece. You have a boyfriend. I don't want to hear shit.
So sobbing.
The guy.
You are
Apollo
100% gay.
slowly torturing.
I'm the side piece. Yeah, but my side piece. I am the side piece of my side
I'm
piece.
the
Like,
side
Gay,
piece.
gay,
That's
homosexual,
crazy.
gay. That's a gay one. Hi, hello, I'm gay.
dang, bro.
Apollo ran into Desi and Tango on his way to his room. Desi immediately grinned and waved, while Tango offered a little fist bump. Apollo happily obliged to both.
Hey, what are you two up to?
Desi slipped an arm under Apollo's to lock elbows and drag him into the designated dance room. Apollo snickered and let him, Tango laughing softly behind them.
Who voices Tango?
Oh no.
That's probably me.
I think it is.
It is you.
Tango is probably void.
Yeah! But it says probably void. Give me a minute.
Tango is void.
We're having a little dance class. Desi had decided you would join us. Would you like to learn?
Apollo grinned, bumping hips with Desi before nodding to Tango.
Sure. Oh, what kind of dance? I'm assuming tango based off of your name, but Lust got my brother on a pole, so I'm just making sure.
Desi snickered again.
Both
Both
if you
if you let
us.
us. That's me. That's me.
Oh wait, fuck! I'm gonna correct. I'm gonna be creature. I'm creature chat. I'm creature. I'm. Implodes. Self-implodes.
Apollo blinked.
Oh, okay. I'm.
Yes, English.
Not
There's
Polish.
I'm pretty sure that says I'll be very honest, but there's no B.
Yes.
There's no B in there.
Oh yeah. No, I just can't. I just can't
I'll
write.
be very honest with you. Will have zero clue of what I'm doing for both. Kiko skates, but I literally only did combat training for my entire life.
Desi offered nothing but an impish smile.
It'll be fun.
Apollo raised a brow.
No offer to catch me if I fall.
Desi deadpanned.
You know damn well I'm not strong enough for that. You carried me through the woods while I was passed the fuck out dead weight. You can catch yourself. No.
Apollo damn near cackled.
Ah, fair enough.
Tango nudged to Desi.
Bull or tangle first?
Apollo tilted his head.
You do pole dancing too, Tango?
He laughed, blushing a little.
Oh no, I don't nearly have enough upper body strength. Plus, I much rather... What? B. Jay, please use actual English when you write dialogue.
I was tired. Where?
I think that
I don't know whatever this last bit is of where it
I'd
says
much
plus
rather
I'm much rather
being
being
able
able
to
to use my legs. What is this?
I much rather being able to use my legs. What do you mean? That's correct.
Is
Yeah.
that not what?
Yeah.
I don't know. It
Yeah.
sounds kind of weird.
Kaden, I don't hear shit from you. Okay.
What do you
I want to see your short story.
No. I put that thing on a lock and key.
I thought that would be
Apollo
much
nodded.
rather be able. What is being able? What?
I'm
I
telling
much
you, it's
much rather being able to use my legs.
not-
It's
I'm a
grammatically correct.
Able. Yeah, that's right.
What?
Because it's not saying in past tense. It's saying in present tense. So it's
Say
being,
it all
not
together.
being.
My brain is melting. I'm just gonna...
Okay, move on,
Yes.
move on.
Apollo
I
nodded.
must rather being able to use my legs.
Apollo nodded.
I've got you. I reckon I'll feel the same.
He smiled and hip-checked Desi again.
But I'm willing to try. Was Kigo any good?
Desi snickered and nodded.
A natural, really.
Tango scoffed.
He's cheating with the damn tail.
Apollo laughed.
He showed you.
Both skeletons nodded.
That's Tango.
Yeah. I misspell somewhere. That's why he was so good, I think. He is able to shift his balance much easier and precisely than us.
Desi shrugged.
For sure. Also, I hope you know that my brother is definitely putting a bow on your brother's tail right as we speak. He bought a ribbon and everything.
Apollo couldn't help the genuine laughter that ripped from his chest.
I have no doubt. Trust me. Kigo will let him too.
Lust had bought a fucking ribbon to tie on the tip of your tail. You laughed your ass off when he pulled it out of his pocket, and Mars, oh so helpfully, offered to hold your tail straight while Lust laced you. Oh, actually, don't think about being laced. Gurley had made very sure you would never see shoestrings the same again after he got his evilly angelic little fingers on your sacrum. The three of you laid together on the couch, Legally Blonde, the musical, not the movie, because you had taste, playing on the TV. You were comfortably tucked into Mars' side while Lust gently played with the tip of your tail, absolutely delighted by everything. He tied a cute little blue ribbon just under the little devil heart at the tip, which was admittedly adorable even when you smacked him for it with your tail. That just charmed him further, bastard. At the very least, Mars and Lust turned out to really like Legally Blonde. Apollo followed Desi's instruction, basically throwing himself at the pole and hanging on for dear life. Unfortunately, because of his lack of gloves, despite having the strength to hold himself, he immediately went sideways and slipped right back down. They let out a disgruntled oof as he made contact, but clearly he hadn't fallen far or all that hard. He glanced over to Desi, only to see him hunched over and silently laughing. Bastard.
I didn't think the pole was going to work for me.
Apollo laughed, not all that put off, regardless of his many tries. Desi giggled, wiping a tear.
That's alright, darling. Come on, Tango will teach you the basics.
He leaned over Apollo's form and offered him a hand.
You did well.
Apollo took his hand and effortlessly leveraged himself up. He had to catch Desi after tugging too hard. Oops. He was already walking to Tango, who was sitting on the speaker, when he realized Desi had called him darling. Huh. Apollo was mid-giving his very best attempt at the salsa, dipping Desi exactly how Tango instructed when he realized he liked it. Oh. That totally won't cause problems in the future, no siree. Despite the occasional triggering moment, Edge really did love his job. He got to spend every moment around animals, though it made him a little upset that they were usually in a lot of pain. Just a little. Okay, a lot. Spending over a year in this universe had made him soft, but Red had already threatened to dust Classic if he tried to send them back, so I suppose it didn't really matter if he'd gone a little soft. This universe was very safe, after all, not to mention the amount of powerhouses he lived with. Classic was weak as shit, but one hell of a judge. He was the first monster Edge couldn't beat, which garnered his respect just fine. Pyrus was too nice to hurt someone, but his magic control was to a level Edge had never seen before. Blue had enough energy to simply outlast an attacker for the most part, though Edge could see him being susceptible to long-range attacks if he wasn't quick enough to dodge. Stretch wasn't as good as Classic, but he wasn't horrible either. Red was obviously a good fighter, even if Edge secretly hoped to stars Red never had to fight again. Dust was honestly kind of terrifying, the highest LV Edge had seen in his life, though apparently he went at a similar level on the genocide runs Red told him about that Edge couldn't remember. It was weird as shit, but the universe was too rough to keep secrets in, so of course Edge trusted him. The nightmares proved it enough anyways. Dust killing the whole underground wasn't what scared him. Red would do the same if it came down to it, but the fact that he killed his brother was sickening. Sure, Red and Edge hurt each other in their universe, often, but he couldn't imagine Red killing him in the slightest. He honestly, knowing how fucking crazy Dust must have gone for that shit is uncomfortable. Felt a little bad for bringing it up before, but hey, Edge apologized. After Desi asked, and Dust apologized first. He wasn't perfect. Moving on. Lust and Desi weren't fighters. Neither were Hop and Tango or Cosmic and Orion. Mars was good in that Hunter Pharaoh way. Jupiter was one hell of a healer. Helvetica was probably the most calculated killer he'd ever met. He had a lot of respect for Vet. Mallory seemed sneaky enough to fight if he needed to, but Edge would probably put him on the protected list instead of protector. Kigo, well, Edge wasn't all that sure about. He killed Gaster and clearly survived a lot of shit, but he'd never seen him fight, plus half-blind. Malnourishment probably wouldn't help either. Granted, Mars was the same way, but Mars was a much different story. Apollo ranked higher than Edge and Vet in the Royal Guard, though. Vet was a similar position now on the surface. Though Vet was in a similar position now on the surface. Also, Apollo's lack of concern over his brother being surrounded by monsters with LV was telling. Edge doesn't think Apollo would be so relaxed if he wasn't sure he could take them down, which, spooky. And hot. Wait.
This is Sarah. Wait. Wait, I'm gonna see if she'll come voice herself.
This is
Yes,
great.
yes,
Oh my
yes.
goodness, yes.
Sobbing.
Oh my god. Wait, where is she?
Sarah.
Someone get Sarah in here. Hold on, I'll call her up.
Sarah!
Thank you. Yeah, Kaden, go call her.
Hold on.
Where are you?
Wait,
Where are
wait, I
you?
don't even have her. Wait.
Call her on Discord or Snapchat or something.
I don't even-
Actually, I don't want copyright to come after me.
She's playing. Wait, I think she's playing Roblox right now. I'm gonna join her game. Oh yeah. If that bitch
Drag
is playing,
her.
okay, no, she's not.
I don't think she likes
Nick,
me enough. She's not picking up.
Oh, she's at work. Hold on, let me check her location.
So looks so good.
She works?
With her mom, she cleans.
Oh yeah, she.
Where are you?
Where are you?
I'm so sorry.
Okay. Sarah, where are you? Where are you? Sarah's at home. She's at
Sarah-
home.
Sarah needs to get her own ride. She didn't pick up, and so kind of
Be right back,
I'm gonna send her. I'm on my way to her life 360.
Get her.
You go to her house so much, she probably wouldn't even message you. She'd be like, tracks.
No, my mom took my car. Hold on.
Does she know that?
No.
We're no strangers to love.
Die.
You know
Die!
the
Get rid of it, please! Kill the snake! Kick the snake! Please! Kick the snake! Kick the snake! Put him in jail! Put the cake! Please!
She forwarded my shit to
Wouldn't get this
voicemail.
drunk.
Click that snake in jail, please!
My shit to
Jay,
voicemail.
put the snake in jail, please! There we go.
Do not. Yes.
Rickroll,
What is-
put the snake in jail! Thank you.
Ooh,
Oh
wow.
no,
That's rough.
the snake's been removed.
Is that where I go if I'm ever bad?
No! Okay,
Wait,
Skittish
Jason is
too.
too.
Skittish is also rickrolling.
Haha.
Oh, damn. Well...
Oh no. Oh no.
My high school actually did do Legally Blonde. That's where I first saw it.
Lucky.
I'm going to pointedly not go into the chat, but
I
I
am
am.
forever
Reggie
salty
left.
that I wasn't able to do my speed talking on
So,
stage.
any of y'all play Overwatch?
Oh, no.
Immediately
I haven't
dragged.
played Overwatch since, oh.
Okay, let's
They get it
continue.
Hey, oh my god. Are you joining back? I mean. Oh my god.
What? What are you? Are you streaming fucking Overwatch right now? You nerd.
Wait, what were we talking
Okay.
about?
You.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It's
No.
It
streamed.
is streaming.
Do you want to bring back Skittishers? Welcome back.
The epic Ruth fellowship.
Sarah's ignoring me. Okay, I'll voice. Oh no, actually no,
Wait.
I'm reading. Wait, who's no? No, I'm not reading. I'll voice Sarah.
You're not reading it.
I confused myself. My apologies.
I smell something burning.
Uh-oh.
I'm not.
Is it
gonna-
redacted?
Oh, probably.
Darkling jail.
Actual sobbing.
It's my redacted. You're not allowed to put Darkling in jail for my redacted.
Well,
Oh,
I
okay, it's Sierra in jail too.
I thought two redacteds actually.
I'll take
Both
the
mine
bullet.
and yours.
The amount of redacteds I have that are not related to Undertale is surprising.
Jay needs some tutoring. Oh,
Ever so innocently exists.
all my fellas.
All my fellas.
That's my fellas.
Oh my fellas.
All my fellas.
Do-do-do-do-do. Okay. Oh wait, I can use my soundboard.
You have another case with Child Protective Services?
No, come on, I haven't even done anything this time.
Aww.
I absolutely love the chat. That
Okay,
fits.
read. Oh wait, no. Edge.
Back.
I jumped away
What
from the
is
paper.
going
He
on?
was
Okay, revoke the soundboard privileges. We gotta continue. If we're
Alright,
continuing, did we hit the top one?
Yeah.
I'm gonna dip.
Okay. Bye. Love you.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
He jumped
Yeah.
away from the paperwork he was totally reading. Yes, ma'am? It was the clinic's owner, Sarah. She fixed her glasses chain, which is silver with little stars and a crescent moon hanging off of it. Edge had assumed it was an old human thing, but his boss was quite young, just a bit younger than his brother.
Older.
So just a bit older than his brother.
Sorry for yelling. I called your name like 6 times.
He blushed. I got distracted. Sarah laughed, unbothered.
I noticed. I just clocked in. We got a crawl about a stray cat someone's bringing in. Can't tell the breed. Could you set up the room while I scrub in?
Thanks, darling. Of course. She smiled, slipping off her black and red varsity jacket and throwing her curly brown hair into a ponytail as she walked to the bathroom with her side bag clearly stuffed with her scrubs.
Thanks.
Edge got busy quickly, walking to the treatment room with a few quick strides and getting to work on disinfecting the room. He'd set out general tools and slipped his gloves on as Sarah walked through the door with the biggest, ugliest cat Edge had ever seen. It was missing an eye, had tufts of fur missing, and lost the tip of an ear. Cat had its claws deep into the powder blue and paw print scrub Sarah was wearing, but she didn't seem to mind. It hit Edge with the hardest glare I'd ever seen from an animal, and Edge immediately knew he fucking loved this cat. He snickered and happily took it from Sarah when she motioned for him to, holding the beast on his hip while Sarah went back to grab the paperwork. He lifted it, holding it in both hands, and Wait.
Come on, Darkling.
Is that supposed to be and I smirked at the cat?
Wait, where? And
Oh,
I think it. It's meant to be at eye level, and my dad said it.
I smirked.
He's like holding it up like
Yeah. Yeah.
He's doing a reverse thing of
Holding
it.
it
The
in
cat is
both hands
facing
at eye
him.
level and smirked at the cat. Hello, beastie. Just what have you got yourself into? He yelled at him. He couldn't help but laugh. Yes, I'm terrified. Sarah walked back in, chuckling at the image.
Truly, we had just gotta check her eye, see if she's microchipped, etc. Normal checkup shit.
Edge nodded, setting the cat on the examination table, while Sarah put the paperwork on the counter and slipped her gloves on. Where's the owner? Or the person that brought her in? Sarah shrugged.
They don't want to keep her. They paid for the checkup because they felt bad, but they don't have the space for a cat, they said. We're checking for a microchip to see if she has an owner, and if not, we'll send her to the shelter across the street.
Oh, take paws? That's a good one, even if their name is a fucking pun. Sarah chuckled.
I think it's cute.
Edge rolled his eyes good-naturedly, holding the cat down as Sarah got to work on simple checks like her spine and fur. Oh yes, I know your version of cute, Sarah. I've met your girlfriend.
What? Hey!
Red didn't mind Classic. If he did, he wouldn't be playing poker in the basement with the bastard. They'd gotten Grillby's, which, oddly enough, had Classic going a bit blue, but Red wasn't one to ask questions. He'd find out in his own way. Being an intelligence operative by Asgard and Alfie's words, or a spy if you're a normal person, had plenty of perks. He needed something to do after Classic brought up taking a break from the machine after Kiko and Apollo came through. Honestly, he thought it was a good idea. The amount of universes were getting out of hand, not to mention how fucked the two most recent universes have been. Now, Red would say he isn't glad he had a hand in getting Helvetica and Mallory out of their universe, especially not with how similar they're supposed to his, but they could only save so many people before they fucked with the universe too much and sparked a black hole or something. He was happy they got Kiko and Apollo in as their last run, though. They were both good people, not to mention how sweet Apollo was on Edge and how kind Kiko was to literally everyone. Hell, he'd never seen Vet so relaxed before. Also, apparently Apollo helped Edge drag him upstairs when he accidentally knocked himself the fuck out on the breaker box, so he got brownie points there. He hoped Edge, Apollo, and even Desi worked out. They were cute. Red won another round of poker. They weren't gambling or anything, but it did make their score even. Sans was the only guy Red actually got a challenge out of playing. It was fun. Classic paused mid-sip of ketchup when his phone started ringing. He raised a brow and swallowed it before answering. Cosmic spent most of his time at work. Looking at the stars and tracking their movements and meanings were one of the only things keeping him going so far away from home. He thought after being trapped in the stars for so long that he'd rejoice being on Earth, but he missed space with everything he had. He could tell Orion was too, even if he was handling it much better than Cosmic was. Maybe it was because Cosmic had left his own star behind. He missed Girly so goddamn much it hurt. Literally. After a month, soul bonds start to strain. They won't break. It would take years and both parties falling out of love for that, but damn did it hurt. He couldn't count the amount of times he was forcefully bedridden with the feeling of his soul being ripped apart. Genuinely, he was just glad Orion and Mettaton had waited before taking that step so his little brother didn't have to deal with it too. Cosmic was pretty sure his soul would crack if he saw Orion in that much pain. Stars he missed his mate. Prayed with everything he had that the strain on his soul wouldn't damage their chances of having a baby bones. Stretch was kind of bored. He'd been quietly writing for the past 4 hours, but he just knew he needed an editor because he was too damn tired to reread everything he wrote before sending it off to his publisher. Oh, Mallory would do it. Do we want narrator to read chats,
Okay,
or did we ever
I don't
get
mind
it?
doing it.
Okay.
We're going to be switching between, or do you want me to just read all of it?
You can read Stretch.
who's-
Voices Malvery, can do Malvery. I forget who it is.
Yeah.
Though.
Okay, whose voice is Mel?
I had to close the document.
Luna.
Oh, okay. Is Luna here?
Huh? Sorry.
Yeah. You're gonna voice Mutt or Mal.
Oh, right. Freaking, I forgot about that. Which part
Okay, go
were
ahead.
we? What part
We're
were
at Big Stretch.
I thought it was such a cute name.
It
is.
is. So good.
This is.
Now Sarah's
Hey, Mom.
calling me. Hold on.
Of course. Now you call me back. We're reading the chapter that you're in. Do you want to voice yourself? Okay, that's okay. I'm voicing you very well. Don't worry. Do you want to just listen? Because Kaden was in the voice chat. I was mid. Sarah, I need you to understand I was mid. Oh, I'm sorry. I'll mute. You guys can keep going.
Hey Mal, can you do me a favor?
What kind of favor? You're not a weed or something?
No, lol. You read Vet's papers before he submits them to the Queen, right?
Yeah.
Could you do something like that for me? Perchance? I'll buy you muffets.
Deal. What am I reading?
No, I want the frosting. You have to. No, I
Editing.
Okay. What am I editing?
A draft. For a novel.
Since the fuck did you have a novel?
I want the cake.
Since right now. Muffets and
No, I
weed.
like the cake from like.
Yeah, I'm still down. On my way.
Jam with it.
Foggy, shut up!
Ordering muffets now.
Oof. This is canon now? This is canon now, Foggy? Or Mallory some sort of animal or friend named Foggy in real life.
I don't like
T.
The little or not so little beast's checkup went just fine. She bit Edge about 6 times and attempted them all in 3, but didn't give him any other problems other than being very vocal about how much she did not want to be there. Sarah snickered and pet her head even as she hissed.
So mean.
Edge laughed softly as he expertly stopped the cat from scratching the shit out of him for the 9th time. Yes, she's quite the little fiend. I genuinely cannot believe she's only 4 months. Oh, he couldn't help but see himself in her, which is why when they didn't find a microchip and take pause, didn't have enough space to take her in, he hesitated. The only other shelter in town was a kill shelter. Not happening. He patted the carrier, holding the little beast in his passenger seat before whipping out his phone in the shelter's parking lot. Didn't take long for him to find Classic's number. He didn't really care about Classic's opinion, but since he was head of household, Edge figured he deserved some respect. Also, Classic beat him in a fight, which is really the only reason he bothered to call. Lesser brother! Hey, Edge. The audio crackled, and Edge could hear the rustle of fabric. You never call. What's up? I have acquired a cat. You... what? We have a cat now. I will purchase supplies and make sure she's well-groomed to take care of it. Classic chuckled. Do you want, kid? Just make sure it doesn't go in the basement. Just don't want cat hair in the machine. Knock yourself out. Splendid! Her name is Doomfinger. Classic just barely covered his snort with a cough. Great choice, kid. Thank you. She's a bitch. I love her. Edge heard Classic and, faintly red in the background, burst into laughter as he hung up. He grinned and turned to the carrier. You're mine now, beastie. She yelled loudly at him, and he nodded along as if he understood exactly what she was saying as he pulled out of the parking lot and started her home. Yes, of course, Doomfinger. I completely agree, dear.
Silly. You know, if I didn't know Darkling, I would have think that was your normal voice. Edge.
Yeah. Still a silly goofy as all.
My Edge voice?
No,
honestly, yeah. It fits the character.
Yay.
You embrace Edge very, very well.
the thoughts and prayers.
Oh my god. I'm sorry, I was telling Sarah about the thing with Katie.
And the prayers. Got eaten.
Because from Sarah,
By
I
the
need you
cat.
to understand from Sarah's point of view, Sarah was eating a nice meal. And she
you called her like 6 times.
And she sees like 3 calls from me, 7 Life 360 notifications saying I'm on my way, and a call from my boyfriend. She thought somebody died.
Technically,
Might as well be.
Oh, technically,
That's
one Kipo
crazy.
technically did. Remember?
Oh yeah, true. I mean,
We had one death on our hands since we were
I thought you were
mixing.
playing Roblox and ignoring me. I'm not gonna lie.
What?
Okay, that was the last
Whatever
chapter.
it takes. Yep.
How did you? Hold on.
Yippee, yippee. End the event. How do I end the event? Actually, I don't have an ending.
Don't you
You don't.
dare be admitting my old delicacies! Foggy!
Yeah, hit the
No!
X at the top
Already
corner.
ended the event, Goofy. Already did it.
No, I did it.
No, I clicked it. We must have clicked it at the same time. Because I went in like the thing and I clicked end event.
I'm pretty sure
God
it's
is my
separate
witness.
for each person.
Why am I
but,
the only one still on
yeah.
the Jacob skin?
no, it didn't. It ended the entire event.
Because I got attacked in a different server for having a hiccup profile picture, so I just left it.
She was
Darjing did it! Darkling, is your new name Darjing?
No.
Are you? No.
You know, it's
I feel that's not my name.
We get the Indian Darkling?
Oh god.
What?
What are we talking about?
what?
It's because I keep getting called Darjeeling, however you pronounce it.
Italian. Not Italian. Italian Darkling would be
Yeah.
something, I don't know, actually. Something with noodles or whatever the frick.
Italian.
Lasagna.
Italian suddenly.
Oh my god.
He's trying to say Indian.
I can't wait till end, bro. I'm so hyped. I'm so
You know,
hyped.
Jay is not gonna help you here.
That's bio.
I'm calling up.
Mafia till
We're gonna call the law.
What?
No, the word. No,
Darlin,
reading that-
Darlin is a snitch.
Autocorrect when. Fucking autocorrect.
Oh my
when.
gosh.
Specifically must have been so painful for you guys.
You stop traumatizing and shoving my characters into walls. I swear.
No, this is my character. And I'm shoving
My
him
favorite.
to a wall.
That's so true.
Give me my Pookie.
No. That's what, and you let her go with
Like
for it
these.
until I make that one angsty too.
Stop. Let me fuck him in peace. Please.
What?
Excuse me? Excuse
I said what I said. I said what I said.
I will not
Okay.
forget.
Let me
Fuck
go to
him in
jail.
peace.
Me?
I think you need
Please.
to go. Off you go.
Me jail? Who jail? Oh no, Luna jail.
Luna jail. Luna's been jailed. Must I put her in the
Yes,
horny jail?
that is what Luna said.
Yo, this is sure.
Or sorry,
I heard
naughty
that
jail.
right.
Do I need to put her into the naughty jail?
Yes.
Fuck him in peace. That's all I have to
Okay,
say.
yeah, no, you're getting put in naughty jail.
I know.
You're getting
I
put in
know.
there now.
I know. It always.
Oh no, I don't want it. Why does it get better? I serve
You are why we cannot have nice things.
Okay, Skittish, if you want me to be in jail, I'm calling up Gino.
Get the law.
Gino!
Get the law. Where is the law?
I don't know. I don't think Gino joined today.
You stole the law.
Gino had something to do.
I sent the wrong person. Sorry, Soda.
Hello?
I was so confused.
Poor Soda. Whatever did Soda do? Oh, there goes Luna again. Back to jail.
Put
everybody in jail.
Should I fuck up Skittish's audio?
Yes. Yes, you should.
I think I should fuck up Skittish's audio. Ooh.
As a child, I yearned for Edge.
Sobbing.
I forgot to get off that.
Edge is so fine. Oh, maybe I could
Need
write.
to be the Edge.
Actually, let me put a poll. Let me put a poll.
Is this for my jail time?
Yeah.
Oh.
I vote 3 years, but I could also deal with 10 minutes of timeout. So.
Okay.
Oh.
Hello, Father. Why is there a knife?
Why not?
Thank you for bringing me a sword, I guess. I will stab my enemies. I will
Watch
stab
out,
my
look at
enemies
the
with
stabber.
that sword. I got a knife.
Sword. Sword.
Thing is a little silly goofy.
I know I have
Daddy.
I have 12.
Hello, Father. Why is there none?
Hello.
Good night.
I'm gonna head off now.
Alright.
Good evening.
Bye. Have a good night.
Good night.
That's kind of fucked up your audio.
Why is everyone else doing Vortex?
Let's see. That is a lie. We're going Ruth. I'm sorry. We have been reading Ruth. Also, Void, is the stream still up or did it get shot?
It's still up right now, unless you want me to end it.
It's still existing.
No, I don't know. We could go be silly goofy and talk about spoilers for the masses. Are you winning, son? That is the reality.
Day, evening, au revoir.
Go to bed. Go be French in bed. That's not wrong. Go be British in bed. Go to bed.
Why are we suddenly talking in French?
Okay,
Stop
this
in
is
French!
because I'm working on a roof chapter and a real
Also, Skittish, I hope this is going to help fill you with joy. This is from Gino, by the way.
I don't trust it immediately, but I feel like I'd give it
Gino cannot hide evidence?
Have a good day, night, everyone. Au revoir.
Good night.
Gino said that.
What is from Gino?
That is the thing I forwarded. It's from Gino.
Interesting.
I
Let them be angsty every once in a while.
Rare.
I want to snipe someone. Who should be
In
sniped?
my DMs?
Might have had human fall flat open that entire time.
Yes, you have.
That's
So Redacted has a skin. Redacted has most of Redacteds are prestige.
Instead of closing human fall flat,
Most
I
of
just
them-
muted it.
I mean for human
That's
fall-
what was
Actually,
happening at the
good
very
point. Not everyone
beginning.
does have it. As a
No,
child, I
no,
yearned for
actually
the
did.
roof.
As a child, I yearned for the roof.
I was crazy once.
Crazy?
They put me in a room.
I was crazy.
Or a
I
room.
said that
I
and
was
immediately
crazy.
regretted it. I said
Rest
crazy
made
and
me
immediately
crazy.
regretted it.
The rats made me crazy. Crazy?
I was crazy. I was crazy one.
Oh
I was crazy once.
In a room. A room.
I remember a room full of rats, and the rats made me crazy. I've been kicked out of the BC. No! Bring me back!
Who were the people
Okay,
that were saying it? Who was it?
Void, Crow.
I deafened, so I have no idea.
Oh no, I got turned out! Big creature eyes! Big creature eyes! If anyone's reading this, I'm big creature eyes right now. I've got like a minute. I can't really even ask if this is where I'm supposed to end the stream now, because I got like a solid minute of waiting. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do. Shenanigans. I love how the stream has frozen, because all the things are set up for Discord, so whenever I'm in a VC it shows everyone's little thing, but I'm not in the VC, so now it's currently broken. Release me! Gnawing at I'm gnawing at the bars of my enclosure. Free me! Please! Pretty please! We just got a little too silly goofy is all. Let me back in. I'm back!
No, did you say for
That
free?
was timeout.
I might have. I think I might have said for free, or I might have said 3 and meant 2. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think that was like.
Regret.
No, you definitely said for free. I was like, Sailor Song is free. That's mine.
Alright,
That's
do you
not
want me to end this stream?